Game over.
What is up? Welcome back. It is Friday night, and you're here with the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I'm here with my co-host Brian. Brian, what is up, my dude? Can you hear me? I can't hear you, man. Oh, my bad. Hold on.
You didn't
There we
unmute
go.
me. Here we go. I'm here.
Oh, man.
No, Chris, what's going on, man? How's everything with you, man?
It's been good. It's been good. We are in the process right now here in the South Texas area, getting ready for by far the biggest convention that happens down here, which is called South Texas Comic Con. One of my good friends, Ramsey Ramirez, shout out to Ramsey and Marla V for throwing one of the biggest and best cosplay conventions and film conventions that they can have. They have such a crazy lineup that's coming in. They had Tara Strong. Tara Strong is the voice, of course, Miss Minutes from the Loki series, the famous Harley Quinn from the Batman animated series. She was on her way in, but apparently she came down with COVID.
Oh, shit.
So sad to hear. I mean, someone that's so beloved in the cosplay community, in the voice acting industry, and of course in animated and anime and stuff like that, got the corona. So hopefully praying for a quick recovery. It's totally understandable. And we'll see her when she decides to come back. They have Chuck Norris coming. I mean, fuck,
Fucking
dude,
Chuck
that's already
Norris.
a convention in itself. Like just him by himself is probably one of the most snazzy things you could probably have, right?
Yeah, bro, that's big, man. Can you imagine? What would you say to Chuck Norris if he was like sitting right next to you? Like, is there anything
Seriously,
that
I tell him thank you.
Yeah.
I tell him thank you because I mean, he of course was one of the major contributors to me and my brother growing up practicing martial arts. Of course, that would be anyone in the cosplay. I mean, of course, that would be or in the martial arts world, that'd be Jackie Chan. I mean, fucking Jackie Chan, Yu Bao, Sammo Young, Jet Li, you name them. The Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. We were just talking a little bit about some hip hop stuff, but of course, Wu-Tang back in the day, the Wu-Tang Clan actual films back in the day. There's Sonny Chiba from Street Fighter, not Street Fighter Ryu and Ken, but Street Fighter, the old school movie, which is crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
If you ever watch it, of course, there's a guy that came out in the old boy movie. I can't remember his name. He's actually a stand-up comedian. He's a comic in Japan, but he comes out in a lot of films that are martial arts based. And he came out in one of them, which was called Zatoichi, which is about the blind samurai, which can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Never.
And of course, you got Chuck, you got Don the Dragon Wilson, you have Benny the Jet Akitas, which I mean, I think you and I have talked about Benny the Jet Akitas a million times off camera before, but just to know him by name is amazing. He was one of Jackie Chan's favorite stunt fighters to work with, kickboxing champion, of course, Don the Dragon and Chuck Norris also, and of course, Bruce Lee. What's crazy about Bruce Lee is he didn't really have a lot of championships or a lot of fights under his belts. He did a lot of exhibitions to explain to people and to show people the process of Jeet Kune Do, which a lot of people back in the day didn't believe in because, of course, it was something new and fancy. And, of course, like the culture that he was deprived of at a young age and the Chinese culture here in the United States didn't really accept him. You know, I mean, a lot of people have seen the films and his history and his biography and stuff like that. But nowadays, Eric Paulson, Guru Danasanto, like those guys are still pulling Jeet Kune Do, and there's a million people in the world that are adopting a lot of those methods, and they respect the shit out of those guys for applying the concepts into the mixed martial arts world. So like right now, a lot of the things that Bruce Lee was saying back in the day, everyone is doing it right now in the martial arts world. And it was beyond its efforts in the idea of how you're supposed to run a fighting school or anything that it comes to self-defense. Thought it was an amazing aspect, man. Thought it was amazing. But I owe my life to those guys. I every day train and I try to put into aspect all the things in my head that I can relate to everyday life with it, including my samurai stuff because I practice the Ido also.
Nice.
So, which is a samurai style martial arts. It's like the good old West because it's the quick draw, how fast you can draw your blade and cut, rather than like standing with your blade out. Like literally just from the sheath, boom, pull it out and
so you want to sneak somebody. You want to sneak somebody. You don't want to just like squirt.
No, you're not doing to stand there and look cool. You're not looking for you're not looking for the photo opportunity, man.
You're trying to sneak them and run. Come on, bro. That's not cool.
It's straight solid work. It's literally the same basis off of like the quick draw or like the duel in cowboy movies and
like
stuff,
westerns,
where like it's that right on that second you pull it out and you just try to hit them. That's literally the same concept as the Ido. So
that's very climactic. Like there's no drama. There's no drama in that. Like, come on.
I think the most interesting thing, I used to train with this guy here in McAllen for Ido. His name was Miyaki with a K though. Like it wasn't with a G, which I was like super ecstatic for. If it was Miyagi, like from fucking Karate Kid and shit.
Yeah.
The only Japanese guy that I know in the fucking valley, and the dude's got a name like Miyaki. You know what I mean? Like everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I knew his name was Miyagi, dude."
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the coolest things he ever told me when it came to practicing sword was, look, to take away all the romanticizing of it, like you're only practicing how to murder. Like through and through, like a sword doesn't do anything else except it's just used to kill people. And I was like, fuck. In my mind, I was like, nah, you can cut wood with it, but you're just fucking up your sword. You know what I mean? Like you can't do shit with it. It's not a tool. It's not like a tool you can fucking use to cut bread or go outside and cut your grass with or nothing. It's literally tools specifically made just for killing. And I was so impressed by that. I was like, Jesus.
Well, that turned you on. Yeah.
Because in my mind, it's like I try to tell my students, like every time they're practicing weapons, like, yeah, there's the cool, like flippy throwing and tossing like the weapons and making it look all badass, but the idea of it is, you know, there is a purpose of making sure that it's self-defense wise. Like you have to make sure that even though you can twirl it and throw it and flip it and do a backflip or whatever the fuck you want to do, you could do all of that stuff, but in the process you better learn how to defend yourself with it also. My phone's going off. I can't turn off the sound.
We have a disagreement
right now.
We have the disagreement, a disagreement in the comments.
Casey Jones used to
Chrissy
yes, he did. He used Leonardo's blade. Do you remember that in the movie? Oh, that was so funny. Leonardo was so mad. And not only that, the boys used it to cut pizza too. So you can cut pizza with it.
Yeah, so we have found some other uses of a sword other than just straight.
Those are teenage mutant Ninja Turtles. They're not samurai yet. That was like a later season.
Gotcha.
Which, hey, do you know what? That's a really good question, man. Being that we're children of that time period. What was your favorite one out of all three of those movies? They haven't aged well. I'll fucking tell you that much. They have not aged well.
Turtles movie?
Yeah, the Ninja Turtles, the originals, the three. Because remember, there was the first one. There was the second one that was Attack the Ooze, or the one with Slash and Raza, which were the turtle and the wolf.
Yeah.
And it had Super Shredder, and then the last one, which was Turtles in Time. Remember they went back to the samurai times?
I don't think I watched that one. I saw the first two.
What's up, George? What are you doing? How you doing, Chrissy?
I want to say the first one, but the second one is the one with Super Shredder, right? That's the one.
Yeah, and that's the one that literally had Ernie Reyes Jr. as a character, as the pizza guy. Remember, he was the pizza dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the first one.
The first one?
Raphael getting his ass kicked, bro. Even though that movie doesn't do well, Raphael getting his ass kicked was fucked up, and it made me feel a certain way. Like, and at that point, I never had a movie make me feel some certain way. But watching Raphael get just jumped and fucked up almost to the point of almost dying and shit, I was like, holy shit.
That Chrissy has it right on the button when it comes to that film. For some reason, yes, it was a kid's film, but it didn't feel like a kid's film. It was very Pan's Labyrinth.
It was very independent. It seemed like a very independent movie, like an independent version of the teenage, because it didn't seem like it was I don't know, everyone was getting their ass kicked. There was obviously people dying, and it was wild. And we were kids.
I mean, there was even that scene where you're looking at, what was it, Raphael or Leonardo that was asleep on the tree, and he just looks just everything's taken out of him. And he's just there like sitting in a tree, like hunched over, and you're just like, wow, this guy, like, he's bummed the fuck out. Like, how are people supposed to get any positivity out of this as a kid's film?
But
and for what it's worth, like, it was very much closer to the idea of what the original comic books were, because the original comic books were very dark. I mean, a lot of people know, of course, with the popularity recently with The Last Ronin, which was the new series that came out where one Ninja Turtle was left out of all the four because of an attack that had happened. It's more much in the now future times, I guess. One of them survived, which of course the comic book or the book is not in color, so you don't really it's a mystery on who it is. And we had I don't know if you were on the show yet. I think it was right before you got on, and we were talking about it. And me and Triggs were like, "Man, it's gonna be this guy. It's gonna be this guy. It has to be this one." Without, I don't know if you've gotten into that comic book yet, or you've looked at it or kind of heard anything about it. If you knew that there was one Ninja Turtle left, which one would you assume it would be?
Probably Leonardo. I can see him. He's not my favorite. I wouldn't honestly. Damn, I would pick Donatello because he's the smartest, but Leonardo was the better fighter. So let's say worst case scenario, there was like some doomsday shit that could, like, the worst thing that could happen to the fucking turtles. Either Donatello is going to be smart enough to figure out to survive, or Leonardo is going to be the one with the skills to beat everybody to survive. Listen, I'm a Mikey fan. So like I would rather it be Mikey to survive. Somehow he just styled and just became cool as fuck on everybody and just somehow figured it out. But it's probably either gonna be Donnie or Leo.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I'm gonna read
Michelangelo is the one that survives.
Ah, my boy.
But if you read it, it would probably make you fucking cry, dude.
Really?
Yeah, man, because it's like all his brothers die and he's the last one. Like he's the most like fun-loving.
That's why I liked him, bro. Yeah.
And then you just take everything that gave him joy away from him.
Damn. So now
it's brutal, dude. I can't even explain to you like how brutal that comic is.
Depressing. I'm not gonna read that shit now. Like, it just sounds depressing as fuck.
No, but you know what? Like you think about it in the sense of storytelling, and it's like you said, like you already had in your mind based on the stories you've heard, you know, your development and following the story. Your mind already clicked in the hero's journey of who you would choose as the better hero to survive those situations. Yeah. Your heart was like, wait, but I love Mikey though because he's cool. But nah, no fucking way.
There's no way. I mean? Yeah.
But then again, it's like you wouldn't assume the character of Mikey would be that because he was always like the happy-go-lucky, never in a serious situation.
He just wanted to fuck shit up, bro.
Yeah, he just wanted to have a good time.
He just
he was just an extreme kid. But then you put him in a situation where it's like dire. And he's like missing his brothers.
Yeah.
And man, it's such a good read though. It is man, I recommend it for a lot of people if you're not out there. Well, that's a good point too. Chrissy put it out there too. Michelangelo, I think the others would have protected him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe everybody kind of assumed Michelangelo was like, oh, watch out, Mikey, or get out of the way or whatnot. But it's so cool because he has all their weapons and he has like their bandanas.
Oh, now with the pressed out Mikey learns the skills of all like the side and the fucking
he's a G,
and then watch him. Yeah, that's just dope.
Watch him turn into the Punisher /
Watch
him go fucking hard on everything, dude.
And now he's dead inside. So now he's just smoking everybody. Now everyone gets it. You look at him wrong, he's fucking you up. That's it.
And there's some really great things too. Like April O'Neil comes out in it. They have conversations and talks about like where Casey Jones would be. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Casey and April had a daughter.
Oh shit!
So nice. Like the daughter's the one that kind of finds Mikey in the first place. So it's interesting in the sense of like where most comic books suffer from. Like the Ninja Turtles took that extra bound, which is like let's go into the now. Let's go into where the characters are growing old. Master Splinter died of old age, or it was assassinated, or whatnot. And these
that
guys
old
are all
rat was still around somewhere, bro.
Yeah. So it's good. It's good. Which is like what I've always felt, in my opinion, what Marvel and DC have suffered from in the last couple of years, but we'll get to talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the conversations we have coming up. We're going to be talking, of course, about the DC universe and all the news about that. We'll be talking about the drops in the recent Doctor Strange, getting ready with the hype. And of course, we'll be talking about Moon Knight. But yeah, as a matter of fact, before we jump into anything, have you been kind of catching up on stuff that's been going on in the news or no?
Well, yeah, I'm exposed to the news all day, every day, so I'm pretty well versed in what's going on in the world. What's up?
Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, I wanted to ask because you're from that area in the Jersey area, New York, and all that stuff. whatever transpired with the situation that happened in the subway?
Like the very next day, they got the guy. And then
Good shit.
they put a picture up of him, and he just does not look like the guy I would think that could pull some stunt off like that.
Really?
Like, guy was like over 300 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
He didn't look like he was the most athletic. And not saying that he needed to be, but it just I would just envision some like Jason Bourne type of dude, just like sniping people in the subway and then just
Right.
like
Yeah.
running
We're not assuming that
away.
it's gonna be like that, right?
Yeah. So, but no, I mean they got the guy. It was a scary situation.
Yeah.
It was an unfortunate situation. You know, people were just, you know, it was 8:30 in the morning, I think, and they were just on their way to work, just like they do every day of the week. And it just so happens that this day, it just it didn't turn out so well. So it's unfortunate, and thoughts and prayers to anyone that was
Affected by it.
involved. Yeah, that was or affected. But yeah, they got the guy. They got the guy the next day.
Well, that's good because I was, of course, you know, I hit you up when I had heard about it because I know you're from that area. I don't know how far. I know you're not exactly in New York. I know you're a little bit outside of it, but still, like, I know you have to have at least family or friends or whatnot that are casually in those areas. So I just had to check up. And then, of course,
Yeah.
like I didn't really get to hear anything about what happened after. I knew I saw something where like someone tried to get the reward money because they were offering a reward, right? If anybody knew anything, and I think someone came out, and then from there I didn't get to see what actually transpired from it. So of course, you know, we always want to make sure that justice prevails and they catch the bad guy. But it's very weird because if I'm not mistaken, I heard that the guy he did the crime, right? He went and threw a gas grenade. And then he fired in the subway, not in the subway like waiting area, but actually in the train, right?
Yeah.
And then people got out of the train and they all got out at the same time, roughly, to get away from him. And then he like went out and then ran into the tunnels, right?
Yeah. So
And this
again,
guy's
that's
300 fucking pounds.
that's what he looks like. Listen, don't quote me, but the guy wasn't.
he's a big
The
dude.
guy,
I'm guessing he's a little overweight.
the guy was not under 270. I'd tell you that much,
God
bro.
damn.
Like the dude was fat.
What's the drop from the level
It's
of
not.
waiting?
It's
not.
not.
It's like 4
It's,
feet, right?
yeah. It's a little bit of a drop, and then
Damn,
you gotta drop, and then you gotta run because
people are after your ass.
they're gonna be looking. Yeah, they're after you. So it wasn't like the guy just like, I don't know how fast the guy is, but damn. Like,
But then
if
in the
anyone's
aspect-
listening, go look up a picture of the guy they caught. Like the guy, shit, man.
And then the other thing too is like I heard that they're talking about like now cameras weren't working.
Well, yeah, like that's another like risk you take in the subways, that it's not for sure that the cameras are working down there.
Oh,
And
okay.
if the cameras aren't working down there, now you're just left to the few police that are trying to catch people jumping the turnstile. Like, that's your only security down there. So it's like that's why you hear it all the time over here. If somebody got pushed on the tracks, or you know, someone died because they committed suicide on the tracks and shit like that. Like, that's not uncommon out here, yo.
Damn. That's so wild. Well, I'm glad they caught him. I'm glad that, you know, justice prevails. And
Yo, look, I can't share it, but if you just type in, if you Google New York shooter, they show a picture of the guy. Like, you would not think this is the guy that got away.
oh, dude, this is like an older cat too.
Yeah.
I'll share it up real quick.
Like, something about that just doesn't connect with me. I don't know about that.
That's
don't
weird,
know.
Man. That's him, man. He's a big dude, man.
What did I say?
Yeah,
now,
he looks of
if you were to
age.
guess, if you were to guess how much he weighs, how much do you think this guy weighs?
I mean, justifying with the guy on the left probably is about, you know, 5'10", maybe 5'9". I would say that guy's almost like, you know, close to 6 feet. Yeah, there's no way that guy's going to weigh like 250, 270. He's going to be bigger than that. He's going to be at least 310. At least 310.
He's 60.
He's got to be at least 6 foot, right?
He's 62 years old.
Son of a fuck, dude.
Apparently,
and he outran this dude on the left.
And then apparently
dude in the back with the chiseled jaw, dude.
He basically called Crime Stoppers on himself.
Did he?
And that's how he got caught.
Wow.
62 years old.
So he turned himself in.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, what fucking 62-year-old is doing some type of fucking 007 mission like that, bro.
That's wild to me, dude. That's super, super wild. And then the other thing too is like he went prepared, right? Like he went like it was like planned or something, right? Because he had like a vest and shit like that to run into the
Yeah,
subway.
you're not winging some shit like that. You're not winging
Yeah,
that.
not with a fucking gas grenade and fucking coming in with some shit. Did they ever? I mean, by chance, I don't know if you've really looked into this really, really hardcore. I mean, I know you probably seen some things, but did they ever talk about like what type of weapon he was using, or because I know that there's some crazy gun laws in New York City, right?
Crazy. I was actually just talking about this earlier with my pops, and we were talking
Yeah.
about the gun laws in New York. You can't buy bullets in New York.
Really?
Can't buy them.
Shit.
And I'm pretty sure I know for a fact in Manhattan or like anything in New York City, but I'm almost sure like in New York. Now I think you might have to go up like North New York, but you can't buy bullets out here.
That's wild, man.
You have to go to Jersey. You have to come over here to Jersey, or you might have to go upstate New York. But like, yeah,
that's completely wild to me, man.
And
I mean,
that's what they're doing to like bypass a lot of like these gun laws that they have, because New York is strict as fuck with their gun laws.
Mhm.
But have you ever heard of a thing called a ghost gun? You know what that is?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, because I work with 3D printing and I work with a bunch of stuff. I know exactly what a ghost gun is.
Yeah.
Are they claiming that that's what he used or what?
They're not saying that's what he used, but it's something that the mayor had to address, like specifically saying that they're going to start cracking down where people are getting these ghosts, because it's like it's running crazy in New York right now. Everybody has a fucking ghost gun out there, so it's like,
really,
yeah, bro. So like he had an address sometime last week and said that he was going to crack down on these people that are using ghost guns and like
how does he?
laws and shit like that.
I mean, that's an interesting conversation to pick up. How would you come across doing something like that when it's a free to use process? Like, so like you see, I mess with 3D printing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always constantly doing 3D makes and prints and files and stuff like that. And it's not too far fetched to put your process up of how you make a toy to where someone else makes a product to clamp onto a desk / an accessory for a camera / to an accessory for a tripod, then to a gun, then to a whole housing for a gun caliber, right? So like the idea of it's just open source engineering. So
yeah,
this person
but it's
is
still,
saying,
you're still using that creativity or whatever you want to call it to make a weapon, though.
yeah, of course. I mean, that's going to be any type of aspect of creating, right? You look at people who do art in general, and someone's going to draw a boob. They're not really trying to do porn, but they're drawing shit because they just purposely can, because they're artists, right? Because they create.
And from what I'm hearing, a lot of people like aren't really using it for like from like the 3D printers. What they're doing is that they're basically buying guns piece by piece all over the dark web or whatever. Like they're buying it piece by piece, and then if they need like a certain part that they don't have, they can just print it
3D print off of that part.
3D print off of it. Exactly.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
So that's what's happening. It's like these manufactured guns by the people themselves, and they're springing up all over New York.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. When I was having this, like I said, I had this conversation earlier. It's like you would think that was something that we would have heard of like 50, 60, 70 years ago, people doing this shit. But like, it's mind-boggling to me that just now in 2022, somebody figured out that was the easiest way to get a gun. Why don't I just go on the dark web or somewhere and just buy it piece by piece?
If I'm not mistaken, the first 3D printed gun was like in 2001. Gun. I'll type it in real quick. Gun. First 3D printed gun, 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, the one designed was released by a guy named Cody Wilson in 2013. Was the first 3D printed plastic gun. It was a single shot pistol made with fused deposit modeling, but it only lasted, I think, one bullet because the impact and the heat. The plastics at the time weren't being made to do a lot of like, they weren't made for that type of friction and action or pressure. Nowadays, there is a lot of shit going on with the 3D printing that they're really, really pushing on more. So that's crazy to think that. I didn't even think about that actually when you told me about that. When you told me about that gentleman that did the subway shooting and all that stuff, that it could have been a 3D gun. Wow, that's wild as fuck.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think that was a 3D gun. What he used, I think he used something like something real. Because
well, yeah, I was gonna say, like, in the process of it, still, like, even if it wasn't or it was, there's still someone out there that's that can, and there's guns now that are on the 3D market that are like full auto, and they bypass a lot of the laws that they put on semi-automatic weapons to not be full auto.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like but then that goes off to the idea of, so what's the next option that we have? What can we do to make it better? What can we do to legalize or put into some kind of ruling that they don't allow things like that happen? Where do we put it as a statute of limitations on what it comes to building things in 3D modeling? I don't know. It's, as a creator myself, like, it kind of, when other people start dictating what you can and can't do, it kind of adds like a scary roof on top of it that what you do. So yeah, it's just fucking awkward to me. I didn't even think about that, but now I do. But yeah, okay. So, and then the other thing that I wanted to ask, I have two more things that I want to ask, and this is just open to anyone out in the comment section, just to jump into the conversation. What is your guys' take on the Elon Musk situation? So are you familiar with this, Brian?
So you're gonna have to kind of fill me in. I know that I did see that he was planning on buying Twitter, right? Like he wanted, I think it was like 48 billion or some shit like that. And
yeah, I think it's 50. What I remember the price being like 54 million point 20 cents.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of people that are upset that don't like Elon Musk that are like, oh, dude, he put 420. He's a troll. He's doing this shit on purpose. I can't believe it. And I'm like, all right, dude, I get it. Like, but there's nothing.
They don't have to sell to him. Like,
yeah,
you don't.
I was like, fuck, it's still $54 million. That's still pretty good. 20 cents ain't gonna kill it.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, that amount of money is a little bit more than what Twitter is worth at the moment. And then not only that, he acquired. Okay, so this went off of some Twitter shit that he had posted up, where he was acquiring and talking about the idea of freedom of speech. Now, for whatever it is, there's people out there that use and don't use Twitter. Some people out there feel that it's not fair, that there's people on Twitter that control what you can and can't say or dictate what you can and can't do. For me, it's one of those things like, if Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like my face, he'll kick me off of his shit because he owns that goddamn thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the litigation of it, I don't know how Twitter responds when it comes to the courtroom, if they're talking about being a platform for freedom of speech without being able to be taken off or not. And I know that, of course, from the last election or whatnot, there were some people that were removed from the thing for some hate speech comments. That is totally on Twitter. That's what they do. That's what they're pushing on. But I think Elon Musk was kind of conversing about that, talking about how Twitter itself needs to be more about freedom of speech and not about taking people off or something like that, right? It was in that process. And then he made a remark, getting people to acknowledge the fact that, what would you do if I ended up buying Twitter or whatnot? And a lot of people agreed. A lot of people disagreed. And then he ended up buying, instead of going off and offering money to the company first, he bought 10% of their shares, which automatically puts him on the board for shareholders. Like, actually probably the most shares, right?
I'm reading about it now. I don't think he has the most shares, but I know that when he did, like, when all this first started, the other shareholders got together and adopted a poison pill plan, basically saying that they can just dilute his stakes of the share, or they can just basically dilute the remaining shares, however many billions or shares, whatever that there is before the takeover, so that he doesn't just like go nuts and shit like that, which he is. Do you honestly think that that Elon Musk is serious about buying Twitter?
Yes.
Why?
I just think he looks at it like a power play. Like, he looks at, like, look at Mark Zuckerberg's wealth, look at all the other people's wealth who have contributed to some type of social media platform. Look at how much they've made. And then Elon Musk is over here doing it in the engineering without social media. But if he can acquire a social media. That's another millions that he can make on just owning something like that.
I
You know what I
honestly,
mean?
I see what you're saying, but I mean, if you're telling me that he's doing it just for the money, I don't believe that. I don't think this guy needs the fucking money. This is like everything that he does is not about nothing. He does is really about money. If you think about it, there's nothing that he's done. I mean, yes, he's acquired us and a shitload of fucking money, but nothing that he's said or has done has given me the impression that he would do this for the money. He would do it for the shits and giggles of it. That's why I'm only putting a certain amount of stock into whether or not he's actually serious about this. Like he just says shit because he can, and no one can tell him
because he has the money for it.
No. Yeah, like he has the power to do so. I think he has no intentions on buying Twitter. He just wanted to disrupt everybody. As you see, the moment that he said, "Yo, let me buy the rest of the rest of the shares for Twitter," or let me buy Twitter for $43 billion. What happened? The other shareholders said, "Holy shit, he might be serious. Let's shut this shit down immediately."
So do you think it's like a power play?
That's what. Yeah. I don't even think it's a power play. I think a power play is when you're actually serious about doing something. I don't think he's serious about this at all. I think he just wanted to disrupt. Yeah, he just wanted to fuck with him. He just wanted to fuck with him. Twitter probably banned him a few times in the past, so they just wanted to fuck with him, keep him on their toes. Oh, word! I can buy your fucking bullshit, fucking your platform.
And
scared the fuck out of the rest of the shareholders. So now they had to put a plan in place to make sure that he just doesn't up and fucking buys the shit. So yeah, I think that's what he wanted. He just wanted to fuck with him. And now if he ends up buying Twitter, I would think that would be the funniest shit ever.
But you know what's even crazier than that is like, okay, so for a minute, this has been going on for a little bit. Twitter's been going down in stock. So we understand that the value of Twitter's been going down. So it's been slowly like dying out. Okay, and we all know, just like with the Chris Rock and Will Smith, and all PR is good PR. All PR is good PR. No matter if it's positive or negative, it's still good because people are talking about it and it's trending somewhere.
Yeah.
So with the idea of this, Elon Musk comes in and buys 10% of the stock, becomes a shareholder, and then from his seat offers them the most amount of money that they've had. Yeah, did you see Robert's post? Yeah, Robert coming in. What's up, Rob? Good to see you, my man.
Good, Rob.
Elon Musk comes out and says, I'm going to give you this much money. This is the most you've ever been offered for your business. It's actually more than what it's worth. And when he went and acquired it, if I'm not mistaken, the stocks went up like 30%. So like the stock for Twitter went back up because of Elon Musk investing in the company.
Yo, now the guy is a billionaire troll, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, I understand.
Trolls, bro. He trolls all day. Like he trolls, but actually has the power to pull off what he's fucking with you about.
Yeah. I mean,
like that's why I fucks with Elon, because he just like wakes up and decides he chooses violence one day.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, I'm buying McDonald's today. I don't give a shit.
I don't care. Like whatever.
Elon's, man. McMusk. Yeah. I call it McMusk. That's gross as shit. I never eat there again.
That's scary as fuck, man. A live wire like Elon Musk walking around, bro. That's crazy.
That was the concept. He offered in their cash today, which was the 43 or 52 or whatever it was, the amount of money.
I think it's 43. Yeah.
43.
40. He offered to buy for $43 billion. I'm sorry.
So then what happens is they say no, and Elon Musk decides to pull all his shares and just sell. Like everyone that jumped in with Elon is going to sell at that moment, and they're just going to tank it in the stock market. And then what people are saying is when he sells, all the other shareholders are going to get scared and probably sell theirs because of the huge drop in the demand of Twitter, and then it dying as the popularity fails. And then what Elon Musk is probably going to do is just buy everybody's stock when they sell cheap, and then come back in and just buy Twitter again and just fucking and do it. Like he's just going to do a takeover. And that would be such a fucking like, damn, that was violence in the business world in such a horrible manner. Because in 3 days, dude, this guy did like a fucking hostile takeover of a business. But then again,
what I'm saying. That's
the CEO of Twitter's come out and said, this isn't a hostile takeover. We're not kidnapped. We're not in trouble or enslaved. He's like, no, we're gonna bank out of this. Like we're gonna make money. But they are in a situation. Of course, like a lot of people don't want him to buy it. That are, of course, that see on the other side of the spectrum, which is understandable because they go for it.
Let me ask you a question. And I want to ask a question or propose a question.
Our comments.
what do you think the impact Elon Musk has had on our generation? Like, do you think he is ultimately good for the world, or
Yes.
okay?
No, I'm just gonna straight say that real quick. And the reason why is because that guy is thinking of taking humanity to another fucking planet. And that's his life goal. So within now to his 80th year in life, or however long his body and soul decide to take on this abrupt action, he's encouraging a whole generation of our peers and our geniuses to think outside the box enough to where Jake Paul, another person who's got fucking millions that we don't like, said an option wise that when he dies, he does not want to die on this planet. And he believes that. He totally fucking believes that. And he probably can because he's got the money for it.
Yeah.
But the only reason why, and it's very weird because down here where I'm at, Elon Musk acquired a part of South Padre Island a while back, Boca Chica Beach, which is a very Anglo area. A lot of people that have money live in this area. It's right off of the coast. It's literally beachfront property. And he bought a pretty sized amount of area and started doing the SpaceX stuff. And a lot of people were like, fuck yeah, SpaceX and all this other stuff, because the valley, I've told you before, really doesn't have anything of that nature down here. And Elon Musk saw it, and Bronzeville's trying to help him out so much. But a lot of the people that are against Elon Musk are like, get out of here. You're killing our turtles and you're messing up our ecosystem and all this other stuff because of the SpaceX stuff itself. What I say to that is he's literally doing what the movie Interstellar does, which is he's trying to find a way to fucking take our entire species off of this planet, because sooner or later there's going to be too much population on this planet that we're going to consume it like cancer, and there will be nothing left for anybody. Right now, you're seeing the gas situation. It's transferring into the food situation because of Russia, where fertilizer has now gone through the roof for prices. So farmers and ranchers are all getting hit very, very hard when it comes to running their businesses. Like everything is really, really rough. Like they can't do it. And the thing is we have to find options. And Elon Musk is taking that chance. He's using his billions or millions or whatever you want to say to literally find the next scientific evolutionary step for humankind.
Yeah.
That's one person out of the 7 billion people in the fucking world, other than the other dude that's jumping out of planes and using his money to fly through shit or whatever the fuck, all the other billionaires that just want to buy nice cars and wear crappy shirts or whatever. Like this guy's trying to do something crazy, and I really appreciate that. That's all I know. So, but do I think he's a good person? Nah, dude, he's banging Amber Heard and fucking cheating
What's
on his
wrong with
wife.
that?
And I mean, that's cool for him. But
Oh, that's
like,
right. He is married. That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
like he's a dude, but like,
wait, no, he's not married. He broke
he
up.
was.
Him and his girl broke up.
Yeah,
so
he
if he's
was
banging
married.
Amber Heard now, that's his prerogative. I mean,
yeah, but yeah, it's one of those things, man. Like I just appreciate him as a human being for what he's doing for humankind.
Yeah,
like that's it. Other than that, everybody's excited here in the valley because he's eating a fucking Speedo Papa at one of the fucking Mexican events that we have every year. He's
nice.
over here hanging out with all the Mexican dudes getting plastered, wearing sombreros and shit. And down here, we find that shit amazing because Mexican people, I don't know if you ever noticed, like when it comes to party and you're not Hispanic, you're of a different culture. Like we just want you to party with us for that moment, and we'll giggle and laugh. And
listen,
we're gonna
I
have
want
a
to
good
say
fucking
about
time.
90% of my friends are Hispanic. So yeah, dude, like I get it.
We're wild, man. We are fucking wild.
Time.
But what are your guys' take on the Elon Musk factor out, man? I want to know. Interesting fellow. I want to know what your guys' take is him buying the Twitter thing, and where do you think it's going to go for? He'll give us all Teslas down here. Nah, dude, he's going to fly us in Teslas, dude. That would be so cool. Let me go back and read a couple of comments. Chrissy, John, my boy John, good for the world, better for human life, technology more available for the world. Good shot. And I don't know if people even knew this, but he was trying to offer the people in Ukraine free Wi-Fi. He was trying to find a way to get them. Yeah. He was like, fuck it, dude. They don't have internet. I'm going to send it to them. If you want to play COD, I'm going to let you play COD. So straight up, that was really cool. Chrissy says, hell no. Freedom of speech is a good thing, but without internet law, it would only make things worse. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Edgar says, Eels, my dude. If not, I'm not a fan of Elon, but I think he's good. I'm just saying. Okay. And of course, Robert, our guy, says he should give us all Teslas down here. Just down here though, not for Brian.
Yeah, but
Not
say
for
what the
Brian.
fuck, bro? I can't have one over here
Yeah,
in
you
Jersey,
can't have
man.
one. We'll get an extra one, and I'll send it to you.
And you'll send
Amazon,
it to me,
dude, for Jeff Bezos. I'll use Jeff Bezos' company. But yeah, onwards to the next conversation. I'm not really familiar with this, and maybe people in the comments can probably help us out. But what is your take on the situation that's going on? And if anybody, like I said, you can fill me and Brian, because I don't think Brian's really up on this either. But what's the stuff with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? Or Amber Heard? Is it Heard or Harold? I can't even remember this chick's name.
Heard,
right? So,
yeah.
Okay, so we know that there was, of course, a suing that happened a while back where Amber was violent towards Johnny Depp. And then Amber was like, well, he's violent towards me too. And then she like shit on his bed, or what did she do? Like, I just remember it was like, it was really weird. It was very weird, but it was a very abusive relationship. I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry, Brian. I didn't mean to crack you up.
Why was she shit on his bed?
I don't know. That was just a good one. But yeah, if you guys can fill this in. Okay, so Robert says she is suing him for abuse. Okay, and John says accusations between them. So okay, so we know that in the first in the first accusations, it was Johnny Depp who won the case against her in the first one, right? Because I guess he
was this
yeah,
the bed cheating one? Yeah, he won that
provided pictures of smearing on the bed and shit. Get the fuck out of here. Is that real, Robert? Get out of here.
Yeah, no, he lost his finger. I was waiting to stop laughing to tell you that he lost a fucking finger.
Oh, dude, is that real?
Yeah.
Get out of here. So
where the guy, he lost a finger. Or like part of a finger.
So okay, so Amber Heard went on Yakuza on this dude, took his fucking finger. What happened? Okay, so how did that
happen? From what I remember, this was a while ago, but from what I remember, there was an altercation where all of this stemmed from, and it was physical. And from what's come out in the news, it seems as though like Amber Heard was kind of the agitator, and she threw something. Apparently, she threw something at him or hit him with something, and he lost a part of his finger. Now, I don't which finger and which part of his finger, I'm not exactly sure, but that's what I read. So when Rob said it, I was like, yeah, I heard that too, bro.
Damn, that's fucking crazy. So
it was physical. Like, she's crazy.
Well, I mean, is that true? Okay, so Chrissy says, I thought it was because of defamation. So it's not a defamation. This is like an abuse case.
Yeah, no, this was abuse. Like, this was like an abuse thing.
And then I don't know. Okay, so fuck. Now it's all out in the open. It's all out in the open. Edgar is saying that she was kicking his ass on the set of Aquaman. Is that true?
Wait, say it again?
That Amber Heard was kicking Johnny Depp's ass on the set of Aquaman. Is that true?
Yo, if you Google Johnny Depp lost finger, like it says Johnny Depp has accused his ex-wife Amber Heard of severing the tip of his finger as his libel claim against the Sun newspaper continues. The actor told the high courts she threw a vodka bottle at him, which cut the top of his finger and crushed the bones.
Fuck,
she denies injuring his finger.
And she denies it?
Yeah.
But there's got to be, okay, so like this chick has already been called out so many times, and then Johnny Depp's like, I got bed sheets to prove it, right? So
I heard, wait, I did, and I don't mean to cut you off, but there was one more thing I just remembered. I do remember there being like a recording, like I think either he recorded her or she recorded him, and I heard it play, and he sounded like he had just was done. Like he was tired, and he was tired of her shit, and he was just exhausted, and she was just like on his ass, bro. Like she was calling him like a coward, and she was calling him all types of shit. And I think on there he had said something about his finger. Like she fucked him up, bro.
Damn, it's $100 million lawsuit. Someone's gonna get paid better than any film that they've done. Well, I don't know. Maybe the Pirates of the Caribbean paid well, but
which is fucked up because this cost Johnny Depp the
Fantastic
Beasts movie, like right? Yeah, it like cost him that fucking job.
Now, of course, I told you this off camera, which I don't know if I'm gonna get any slack for this, but thank God they did because that movie sucks. The second movie, I think, The Crimes of Griswold Hobblepot or whatever his fucking name is, like it was not good. It was not good. And I don't think it's Johnny Depp's fault as an actor because he's done amazing roles and he always does well. I think it was just the script was bad. And when I had seen this one, I really wasn't interested in it. But then they replaced Johnny Depp with Mads Mikkelsen. And again, nothing against Johnny Depp. I think Mads Mikkelsen is a badass motherfucker, and I would watch the shit out of him. Fuck, I'd watch that guy eat tamales, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, he's so cool. I want to be that man when I'm fucking 58, dude. I want to be Mads Mikkelsen. I want to be that badass, dude. But I don't know if I'm gonna go see that movie, but in the process, like I said, oh, dude, and not only that, our favorite gangsters in it, Ezra Miller, the Mad Goose Wizard, dude.
Yeah,
the Benghazi ghoul, the Mad Goose Wizard. Man, I haven't heard. It's so wild that everything is so quiet on his end of the spectrum, and then only to get that text earlier that the actor that portrayed the Joker in the new film and was. What was it? Druig in the Eternals movie just got arrested for public intoxication. Did you hear about that?
I was reading Edgar's comment. What was that? Say again.
Edgar's gonna put some crazy shit. Oh, that the guy that played the Joker / in the Eternals, he played.
Oh yeah. I posted that. Yeah, he got
arrested for public intoxication.
Public intoxication.
Is it just that they all see Ezra Miller and they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna best this guy."
Yo, they're all young. They're all young, bro. They're all fucking young, and they're all making money. And yo, the dude just did Eternals. Now he's the Joker.
He's got the cash, right?
Like he's good. Yeah, he's all right.
Like, yo, I made some money. I can get arrested. I'm good. Yeah, I can break some laws and be good about this shit.
Fuck it. I mean, and to be honest with you, what other people are being locked up for. Public intoxication could have been anything. Like,
yeah, we can all. I don't want to see it that much. I mean, he's not breaking into some fucking dude's house wearing a Walmart flash
He's
costume.
Not full blown Ezra Miller just yet.
I really wish. If there's anybody out there that's a really solid artist that can draw really, really good, can you please draw me a picture of Ezra Miller wearing a Walmart small, like not small, but like a very bad fitting, like large kid version of the Flash costume where like it's like that weird flimsy plastic where it just covers like the foreface right here, but it's the Flash costume and he's there like pointing his finger or a squirt gun at a family telling him that he's robbing them at like 3 a.m. Can anyone just draw that at like a Disney quality? Like I would fucking pay some Fiverr money for that shit, dude.
I out of all the things Amber Heard and Johnny Depp could have been suing each other for, what made your brain go to her shitting on his bed? Like, why did you say that?
I remembered some shit that someone said a couple of days ago. Like, wow, that
shit understand. I need to understand. That was so funny to me.
I could have sworn that someone had told me that she had done that. That she had like literally.
Could you imagine?
No, I don't. I don't want to imagine.
If I Google this
sentence there, I don't want to imagine that shit. That's so sad.
I Google this, right? And it turns out that she shitted on his fucking bed, bro.
Dude, please tell me, dude. Please tell me that's real. That something didn't hit me in the multiverse of things.
Totally.
I just remember that she had done something and it was something super vulgar like that.
Wait.
Did you tell me you didn't find it? Tell me I'm not telling you the truth about this. Did she shit on his bed?
It's like speculation, but it's listen. This is like
man.
This is page 6. Wait, hold on. This is page 6. The Hollywood Reporter, TMZ, Global News, The Sun.
This is so fucking great.
The Chicago Tribune. Like these are some well-known publications out here, and they're all reporting on feces being in his bed, and that was like the last straw of their
Oh, that's so great. Look, I mean, fuck, dude, he could have keyed his car. She could have keyed his car. She could have egged his bed. How do you fucking speculate shitting on someone's bed? Fuck those dudes things. They know she shot on the bed. There's no speculation when you find doo-doo on your bed sheets, man. There's no fucking speculation. Fuck out of here, the fucking TMZ. It's just speculation. There's shit on the bed. No, you speculate There's fucking UFOs. You speculate there's fucking elves that live under your bed. You don't speculate there's shit in your sheets, bro. You don't speculate that shit. You could speculate anything else. You could have been like, okay, speculation. Fuck, dude. That smell would last forever.
Why is this reality? Why would she do it? Oh, wait, no, okay, wait. Apparently it was supposed to be like a prank for the actress's 30th birthday party.
During a birthday party, she did this.
Why am I just now hearing about this?
Fucking wild.
This is the wildest shit. She didn't shit in that man's bed. Please don't tell me she shit in that man's bed.
God, the disappointment in your eyes, Brian.
In the bed. The actor,
Mr. Hanky from South Park. Yo, what a good. No, that's Tally, dude. Right? That's fucking Tally. This is amazing, dude. And maybe it was Trigger that told me or someone, but I don't know why that stuck in my head as like the craziest shit I've ever done or I've ever seen in my life.
Holy shit, dude. This is real.
Brian.
Johnny Depp's disgusted maid described in court Tuesday how she found poop in the bed of actor shared in the bed the actor shared with then wife Amber Heard and had the photos to prove it.
This fucking chick took out her camera.
I'm looking at the picture right now.
Someone's gonna.
Depp has accused Heard or one of her friends of pooping in the bed as a prank after the actress's 30th birthday party, April 21st, 2016. That's almost the anniversary of that. Following the fight that
is that why you said it's gonna be the anniversary? Are you expecting for her to do it again?
Yo, this is unreal. Why would she? All right, I'm over it. Okay.
Yo, you know what I like about this is when I told you we were gonna like mention this in the comment section, we didn't know jack shit about this, and then this is fucking wild, man. And I just said it as a joke. I really didn't even think it was gonna be real. Like
this cannot be real life. Why would she shit in that man's bed like that, yo?
I just like how the other people are like, yeah, it's just speculation though. Like, get the fuck out of here. First off, in a real fucking normal society, who the fuck speculates anything like that? When would anybody ever speculate there's poop in someone's bed? Like, whoever speculates that? Like, that's not a fucking conspiracy. Right. Like, you know what I mean? It's not some shit that's like the Mummy Returns or whatever.
Listen, I'm into all types of pranks, bro. Like the
that's not a prank. Someone shot at that dude's bed.
The dirtier, you know the better, yo.
Yeah.
But when a full-grown woman coming home from a girl's night out, knowing that liquor just ran straight through and she shits the bed, bro.
Yo, can you imagine the got him part? Gotcha. Can you imagine that shit when she comes in and she's like, got him? And she finds the shit in the bed sheets. He's her just vomiting, dude, everywhere, just crying, dude. The maid's fucking freaking out because she got too. She got pranked also. She just gets paid like a couple $100 to just clean up someone's house, dude.
Yeah, I think I quit, yo. I'm quitting. I don't know if I'm just
gonna take pictures of gowns. I'm gonna make money from them somehow.
Yeah, you're gonna give me a raise or something.
She gotta sell those bed sheets on eBay or some shit. God damn.
This conversation just took a detour. Wow. Okay, that's great. I definitely did not know I needed to know that information. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you.
You are so welcome.
Holy shit.
So welcome.
I'm crying over here, man.
I didn't anticipate that topic being so fucking funny.
Oh man, that's funny.
I was expecting some real shit because like on the fucking jury thing, like looks like but damn man, she's got like resting bitch face like a champ, dude. Like dude, man, there was something that I saw earlier where like someone had like mentioned about her like hitting him or beating the fuck out of him, and she just gave like a little smirk in the background, and I was like, man, this fucking chick, dude, like what are you doing?
Evil, man. Evil. But that's where, all right, so now you can see where like a lot of like the Amber Heard hate comes from, and it's because like it's a lot of people think that Johnny Depp didn't do anything wrong, or you know, he shouldn't have been fired from Fantastic Beast or whatever. And there's a lot of hate for Amber Heard, and everyone is kind of confused as to why he lost his job, but she is still slated to be in Aquaman 2.
Wait. Edgar, is that true? Is she still winning the case? I've heard that she's not doing so hot in the cases, that a lot of it's like she's getting pretty crapped on.
I haven't kept track of the case, but yeah.
Hell have no fury. Yeah, I mean, she shit in his bed.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if she was
Yeah.
mad? That was a fucking
Apparently.
prank, dude.
All right, but here's my thing, right? So apparently she did it because the two had an argument earlier. But
The
you went
prank?
out with your girl. No, well, yeah, they
Okay.
apparently they had an argument. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, the shitting the bed incident that night. They had an argument before that. Yo, you're out with your girls. Like, forget about them. Like, it should be like over. When you come home all drunk, we're supposed to have makeup sex, and I'm cooking you
Right.
breakfast, and I'm cooking you breakfast in the morning. Like, that's it. There should be no situational reality when you come home from girls' night and then you shit in my bed.
I don't think. I don't think
Yo.
I really don't think there's just anything in life that ever gets you in that part of like where you're just like, you know
Yo.
what? I'm gonna get this dude back.
Yeah,
I'm
how
gonna
are you
really get him
still
back.
so mad? Either that or your girls amped you up while you were at girls' night. Like, you were just sitting there stewing and they were just amping you up. Like, and you had no idea on how to get him back. So the first thing you did when you saw him was just squat right in the middle of the fucking bed, bro.
Fucking duck, dude. Son of a bitch, dude. Oh no. Well, there goes her brownie points, dude. Yo, I wonder, like, so I'm guessing that was something that happened in the previous case or the previous trial that they have, yeah? Or is that something that's going on ongoing?
I am
Because man,
just
if I was
so
the judge in this
I'm
case, every
so
time that chick talked,
discombobulated right now, bro. Like, I don't know, man.
man, dude, if I was the judge in this case and every time that chick talk, I'd just be like, like really, dude, you shit in someone's bed and then you claimed it to be a fucking prank. I don't know. That's like, man, dude, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, if you ever wanted to know what a toxic relationship looks like,
Yeah,
ta-da, here you go, bro. Like, that's what a toxic fucking relationship. Now, I done had my fair share of toxic shit, but it has nothing on this. This is crazy. People are losing fingers. People are shitting in beds. Like, this is some real, like, wild shit.
yeah, this is horrible. This is
No pun
crazy.
intended.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, but if anybody knows any of the things about Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, or you have a recommendation video, we'd like to know.
You're not chopping off my finger and shitting in my bed. You're gonna have to pick one or the other, bro.
Dude, that's a lot.
You're not doing like that's a little much, bro. Like, you're not gonna make me lose my pinky finger and then you're gonna
fucking let go of Harry Potter, dude.
Yeah,
And then she
and
stays
you're
on
gonna
Aquaman
shit in my
with Jason
bed
Momoa,
and get me fired. Like, what are we? No, we're not doing that. You're gonna have to pick one or the other. You're not getting all three.
And then Jason Momoa is like, I'm into these kind of girls. Fucking Jason Momoa, dude. Because apparently, like, he was fucking around with her, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That was the rumor, yeah. Well,
But
not only that, okay,
Elon Musk hit
and James fucking Franco.
And James Franco.
James, I like to bang my students, Franco. Yeah, James. Yeah, that guy got called out a fuckload during the Me Too movement.
Yeah, bro.
So there's Amber Heard. She knew that shit was low hanging fruit, man. She's like, I can get with this dude. Wow. Man, and that was, of course, during when Johnny Depp was filming for whatever film he was in. I feel bad for the dude, man. He's got the shit end of the stick, no pun intended.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's been a lot of sympathy for Johnny Depp over the past year or two, and I see it. I get it, man. I get it.
And there's been a lot of people. I think a lot of like his exes and just friends of the family and people that have come out in his defense, talking about how he's like, genuinely a nice cat, like, just what it is. Yeah,
somebody like Johnny Depp, we would have heard about him having some type of like abusive past or anger management issues or something like that. We've heard nothing from this guy. Nothing. This guy likes to just chill and like not be seen. He likes to show up, kill a movie role, and then go home and
chill. Kind of like those. He's kind of like the Keanu Reeves kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and he's also like, he'll do all that, but that if you get him somewhere where he's just like drinking a beer with you, he'd be a pretty cool cat to have a conversation with.
Yeah.
Her, on the other hand, I don't know.
Oh no, Robert, what is that? Also, the Marilyn Manson videotape too. Yo, what does that mean? Someone explain this to me. So far, I've got fingers lost, shit in bed. And now Marilyn Manson and James Franco in the same sentence. What is the Marilyn Manson videotape?
I'm looking right now.
Uh-oh. Was it her messing around with Marilyn Manson? Because she just sounds like some fucking freaky shit now.
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now. They do have some type of history. Like I see pictures of them together, but I don't know.
Marilyn Manson's dated some fucking crazy girls, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, like, what do you expect?
What do you expect? Yeah, I'm not expecting for him to date like the girl next door kind of moment.
Yeah,
But
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Amber Heard and Marilyn Manson, but whatever.
Yeah, that's what I don't know what the Marilyn Manson videotape is. Robert's gonna have to fill us in with that one in the comments or something. But I do remember he dated the girl from Across the Universe, the one that plays not Jude, but the other girl, Lucy.
I know he was with Rose McGowan, right?
Rose McGowan back in the day. Rose McGowan's she's the type of chick to fucking shit on your bed too, man.
Yeah,
she's pretty rough around the edges, but she's a people person, man. She's a champion of the people kind of thing, sort of. For a while, she was a champion of Xanaxes and everything else. But that's, I guess, for a future conversation or whatever. But yeah, Robert, you're going to have to fill us in because I have no idea what the Marilyn Manson tapes are. For now.
Excuse me.
So what I know right now is Johnny Depp's pretty cool. Amber Heard is a really piece of shit person. And don't let her in your bedroom. That's what I know so far. And don't
at all costs.
Don't let her get a fucking manicure
all
with
costs,
you.
Keep her the fuck away from your fucking
bed. And don't let her test your ring finger, and don't let her fucking do a manicure on you.
Like the more threads your sheet, the more pissed off you're gonna be. So like if you got some really nice like Egyptian cloth shit, like some really nice comforters and sheets, just keep her the fuck away from your shit, bro.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say that too much, Robert. But if you guys want to read Robert's comment in the thing, kind of lays it out there that it's an Amber Heard moment for Marilyn Manson being all kind of weird with a girl. Let's just hope it's not an R. Kelly kind of situation, eh? Yeah. So then Edgar puts Johnny Depp scores big win over Amber Heard as judge rejects her bid to throw out his defamation suit. Okay, so that's where we're at. So. Interesting stuff, guys. If you guys hear anything else on it, let us know in the comments, or if not, send us on our DM during the week to catch us up on anything that you guys want to talk about when it comes to this. Onwards to regular shit that we normally talk about. Wow, that shit was interesting as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Brian.
Yep.
So far, so we got some really, really good TV spots for Doctor Strange. Are you hyped?
I've been hyped.
Tell me, what do you feel, man? Has your mind changed ever since we started hearing anything else or any of the trailers or anything?
I mean, the trailer, I think we kind of touched on it last week or whatever, but yeah, man, the trailers are got me pumped. I am hearing that that they had to trim Doctor Strange a little bit, like they had to cut a few scenes.
It's already like 2 hours.
But I think they had like they cut a few cameos from what I read. I don't want to spoil or whatever, but yeah, I heard that they had to cut some cameos. See, when I asked you about were you concerned about like the runtime, I was just finding out in real time that it was only 2 hours long. So when I read that, I was like, holy shit, it's only 2 hours. I'm thinking like 240, 230 maybe, but
yeah, but the Batman kind of stuff.
Yeah, but like 2 hours, I was like, holy shit, like from what I'm hearing.
That's a lot they're gonna have to fucking fit in this.
I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna have time to do all this. And then now I'm hearing that they're cutting some stuff to make it the 2 hours. So
I mean, the only way that I could see that they could keep it in that aspect is if it hits the fucking run right out the block, dude.
Yeah.
Like literally, like at the very beginning, like the way that we've kind of theorized that it's gonna go is Doctor Strange just casually shows up at the house at the end of Loki. Literally, hey Wanda, let's hook up because I need an Avenger on my team. Put you on the lunchbox, and then she's like, "Well, I'm not the girl you thought I was," and bam, switches everything, and it's evil. And right out the fucking reins, like she just starts fucking going to church on him, and it's just a chasing, like amazing.
Yeah,
that's the way I kind of assumed it would go, with knowing that it's like 2 hours long.
I really think there's gonna be a lot of dialogue in this movie. Like, I don't think it's gonna be that fast at all. That's the reason why that's the reason why the 2 hours kind of scares me. But listen, I know spoilers, I know non-spoiler, I know all you could think about, and it's not just with this movie, but with like anything. I don't mind spoilers, so because I'm the type of person that I don't really mind it. As long as you pull it off and it looks good, I'm all for it. Now, if they like, I've heard so many different things about what could happen or what could potentially happen in this movie, and if they give me any of it, That's cool. If they leave something that I heard that it doesn't make it to the movie, I'm not gonna be pissed about it.
It's
like,
not going to kill you.
It's not gonna kill me. Like I haven't heard a weak spoiler yet. Like everything that I heard was fucking dope. So as long if I get some of that, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. The only thing is I still have, you know, my up on the edges kind of feelings. Paul Bentley actually made a post on Twitter, or if not his Instagram, claiming that he was on set. So this goes back to something that you and I talked about maybe 2 shows ago, where I mentioned, well, what about White Vision? And I constantly keep wanting to refrain myself from calling him White Vision, because that just sounds like the most fucking racist thing ever. It's White Vision, White Vision. Yeah. But like literally it's just what it is. But the idea is, if you look at just theorizing, and of course speculation on all this stuff, guys, we don't know anything about the movie. The average boys hasn't gotten as cool as Disney wanting to invite us so we could shit on their movies in person. They haven't invited us yet.
We're never getting invited anywhere, by the way.
They're gonna be like, nah, those guys are always like they're for them, and then they shit on us, dude. Yeah, DC would never invite me to a film, dude.
Yeah, if you guys ever see us like load a YouTube video of us going to like the premiere or something, or get like a special screening or something, we have totally 1000% sold out, and you guys are at liberty just to ridicule us.
We will make sure to wink at everything, guys, just so our fucking watchers can know what's up.
Hell yeah.
But speculation. So in this last trailer that we got, or one of the last TV trailers we got, Doctor Strange is again using the Eye of Agamotto.
Yeah.
But the Eye of Agamotto, of course, doesn't have the time gem.
Doesn't, yeah.
Right? The time stone's not there.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing with the residual energy of what the time stone leaves behind, it still casually has the power, but probably just isn't as strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like maybe the
time stones? It makes sense, but I just think they need to stay away. Like I know that the Eye of Agamotto is going to be part of the movies, but I don't know.
But what I'm going to say is, like, what if that theory that the gems leave behind a residual power source, or gives it some type of buff or whatnot to its own power sense? That's how we get Vision back. Like, since he had the soul gem in his forehead.
Yeah.
Like, or the soul stone, that the residual soul stone still leaves fragments or some type of like residual energy, that he's not going to be like some soulless android.
I don't know if I will go that way. Like I think that would be cool. I mean, if I was a creator, or if I was a writer for for this movie, and if I wanted to I would just leave the stones out of this completely. I think this is the time where you show the actual powers of these superheroes and these villains. Like we've done the stones. We've done them. We're good. Now we're at a point where Wanda is making people. Wanda is making towns. Like these people are powerful as fuck without a gem.
Without the gems.
She
was already loaded before that one.
Yeah, so I want to see more of that. I want to see Strange level up and power up with no stone involved. I want to see that he can stand toe to toe with Wanda, or at least give her a fight or something like that, and with no stones involved. That's personally, if I were writing that, I would just leave the stones completely out of this.
So some bigger name YouTubers, and this is just me kind of casually doing my thing during the week. I have a tendency to watch some other content creators and different shows to see what their point of views. And a lot of guys are kind of catching up to what we've been talking about for weeks. Someone on the bigger YouTube scale of the comic community was like, hey guys, everyone kind of casually forgot about Nightmare. And I was like, no, we didn't. Well, I didn't. You know, we talk about Nightmare all the fucking time. And now there's really, really big talks in the comic book film world and a lot of these other shows that are talking about how, you know, in a recent trailer that someone apparently saw like a face in the darkness, and they're assuming that there's going to be like a secret villain in the film. And of course, 3 iterations, of course, came up. One of them being Chthon, which is the guy we've talked about before. There's no shyness away from us with that. Morbius, which has, of course, been the biggest name out of the group. That's been talked about since the Loki WandaVision show, which plays a huge contribution. Mephisto, sorry. Mephisto, not Morbius. Nobody talks about Morbius.
I was going to say, wait, what?
Nobody talks, especially since it's like 75% down. It's like 100% down now.
fuck, man.
Mephisto. Mephisto's been talked about since literally. I just showed Brian that he had been mentioned before. Disney has a certain way of keeping these assets in the background so that they can use them later. And then, of course, our third is going to be none other than Nightmare, which was the first villain that was declared for the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie in the first place. I still think that Nightmare is going to play a big role in this film. I think a lot of people are just not, they're just sleeping on the idea of all of these different, characters that are cameoing and stuff like that. Everybody's kind of like blinded by those. But I think Nightmare is going to play a big aspect to it. But I think that it only makes sense that Elizabeth Olsen signed on for 7 more films or 7 years of films. I forgot what the contract said, but I know it's 7 something, either 7 films or 7 years. I think that because, of course, Kevin Feige's come out a long time ago and said, with the Avengers films, we did 10 years, like 10 years of creating something, building it all the way to this badassness, this cinematic history. We're never going to do a 10-year thing again. So other than that, you can say maybe 3, maybe 5, maybe 6 years. I really think what they're going to be doing is they're going to be doing sub bosses in a 6-year plan. So instead of doing 10 years, they're going to bring up individual bosses that are like Thanos that they're going to build, because Rob Jefferson from Comics Explained said it in one of his videos where he's like, I don't see, without it being 10 years, how you're going to build a character like Kang the Conqueror the way you built Thanos, where he was like a film would happen and then in the background at the sub credits, Kang the Conqueror. Like, they built the character up. They're literally going to just throw him at you at Quantumania, right? And then he's just going to fucking fight Ant-Man for no reason. But they haven't really put him into anything else. Like he put up a pretty good question, which was, well, where do you see Kang the Conqueror in a Wanda Doctor Strange film? Like, where do you see him coming out when it's all about magic and mythicism and all these creatures of like different realms and all this other stuff? I mean, it's a good question, because Kang literally deals with time.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, he is a more suitable villain than Thanos, knowing that he could just go 20 minutes before you figured him out and just kill you then. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a pretty fucking crazy villain to have.
Yeah.
But where do you put him in all this mess of things? Like, how would you put a Kang the Conqueror in the concept of like a Doctor Strange 2 movie? If he's like the major villain of what's coming, knowing how strong Wanda's been pushed out and pressured out, where she could be the next major baddie of the whole universe. You know what I mean?
I haven't thought about it. I don't think I can see him in Doctor Strange 2. You haven't really introduced him besides the one episode of Loki, which he, by the way, Jonathan Majors killed.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see him.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm not. Listen, that was good enough to hold me over. I don't see him in Doctor Strange. Like, I don't. I don't think I heard about him being in Doctor Strange or anything like that. But I would be surprised if he is. But I mean, out of everyone that I heard was gonna be in this movie, he was one person that I did not hear was gonna be in it. So I haven't even thought about it, to be honest with you.
So yeah, I'm the same way. I haven't really heard anything about Kang the Conqueror, and in my mind, like, even with my knowledge of like comics, like beyond all this crazy shit that I'm always talking about, I can't iterate a way that Kang would even be a part of this story or even play a factor in it. Like, I don't know. My opinion is, I think they're gonna build.
Why are you basing it off of this movie?
Well, the thing is like I said, how many? I mean, in the aspect of it, it took 10 years to build Thanos. Okay, right? 10 solid years to build Thanos.
Yeah.
Say we get 6 years to do the next phase, right?
Okay.
Into the next big baddie, because they're not going to do another 10 years. So everything's being condensed to 3 years or 5 years or 6 years. Think of any number between now and 10.
Yeah.
Right. If you were Kevin Feige and you said 10 years was too much, let's just ballpark a number you would choose for how many years you would do the next phase.
I don't know. I don't know that Kevin Feige said. You said you heard Kevin Feige say that he's not going to do another
Yeah, it
10
was in
years
an
for
interview
another
that he said we're never going to do another 10-year.
I don't know. I mean,
series.
honestly, as long as they listen, Thanos wasn't a part of every MCU movie or every MCU arc or in the first or second phase. I don't need Kang to be involved in everything or even be mentioned in everything. I know that he's there. I don't even honestly think I don't think Kang the Conqueror is going to be the next big bad. So like when you say like the next 10 years, I don't think even if Kevin Feige did a 10-year arc, Kang the Conqueror would be it. We're in space now, motherfucker. Like he's a human. He's not gonna be the big bad. If anything, he'll be pulling the strings, maybe. But I'm thinking like Galactus, like that's a 10-year arc. Or if you want to do like Doom, that's a 10-year arc. Fucking nah.
Let's see if I can find it. Feige says no more 10-year phase Marvel.
Like I don't view Kang the Conqueror as that next big bad like a Thanos. I don't put him on that realm.
Yeah, I'd probably have to look this up a little bit more, but I know that he said that they didn't really want to have any more 10-year phases. They didn't want to push an arc to be that large, which is understandable.
I mean that sucks. That sucks for him though. I mean, it worked. I don't know why you would. It's not broke. Don't like
if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, so just leave it alone. Like if it takes you 10 years and now we all know that we have a 10-year gap for an arc or for a villain or something like that, and then fuck it. But I mean, if you want to cut it down, if you want to cut it shorter, that's cool. That's not going to change my answer. I don't think that Kang the Conqueror is going to be that big of a villain. Like he's gonna like he may yeah, he may like break off and like his other iterations or variants may be important. So that might be his footprint on the MCU, if you will. The fact that he's giving us Iron Lad and the fact that he's giving us all these other variants of himself that could potentially be what moves forward. I don't think he's going to be the big bad though.
See, that's a really, really good call. So like I said, this guy from Comic Storian, he's really, really good in his comic books. And he made a good point in saying like, well, how do you build a villain like Kang the Conqueror to be big, or if not bigger, a baddie than the way you did Thanos, and do it in under 10 years? I think he's got a good point. But the thing that I think that this guy's not anticipating or thinking of is nobody gives a shit about Kang as much as they give about Thanos. Yeah. Like Thanos is a household supervillain name. Like everyone knew Thanos even before the Avengers movies were coming out. Like people knew who he was. Yeah. Kang the Conqueror, not so much. Like I just don't think. But I do think that it's important that I've said this before, shit, a million times on the show, that Marvel right now has a really good opportunity to build these characters that have no following and make them bigger and better, if not what they were in their previous counterparts from the comic books, into something better in the films, which again, America Chavez, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, Kang the Conqueror. We're getting a lot of these characters that a lot of people don't know of. Speed and Wiccan, of course, the children of Wanda. I mean, even Wanda herself wasn't a very household name until the Avengers made her. So Hawkeye too, man. It's just one of those things. Like if you weren't into it, you weren't into it. I do think that they have a really good opportunity to build these characters up. I mean, just like the way they're doing like Moon Knight. They built Loki up. I'm not fucking surprised they made an amazing show with that too. But yeah, I really think that just my opinion. I think Nightmare is probably going to play a really big possessing or like causing this. And then from there, the big baddie that Nightmare is going to answer to is either going to be the Chthon or the Mephisto character. Now it's very important that it goes either way, because with Chthon, it goes deeper into the magic in the realm world for Wanda, and then she gets to build her 7 years.
Yeah.
But for you, if they build on Mephisto, they build on the Midnight Suns, which I see a way more possible situation happening than I do see a Chthon series and Wanda just possessing Chthon and that's it.
I can see both, to be honest with you. I can see both to where how they're both involved in somehow, some way. Like you said, like that maybe Nightmare is answering to Mephisto.
Very reminiscent to the way it was for Loki and Thanos in the first Avengers film.
Yeah. So I can see how both of those answers could be true. And I want both of those answers to be true because that just means, better content for us. So we'll see.
And as a matter of fact, I had one more thing before we switch on to the next thing.
What's up?
What's his face? Fucking Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
We keep going back to on the idea of who we think he could be, as a character he's going to portray. Yeah, we've talked about it before. I think we mentioned Doctor Strange, Balder the Brave is the other one. I have one more theory on who it might be, and that's going to be Wonder Man.
I heard Boulder the Brave, like almost confirmed.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's because, like, in a Twitter, he came out in
But I also heard, okay, so this is going to what I was originally saying, that they were cutting scenes and they were cutting cameos. I heard, now I don't know, this is probably the first thing that I'm really having a hard time believing, but I heard that some of his scenes were cut as Boulder the Brave. Yeah, I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying that a lot of them, like he was supposed to have a major role and it got cut significantly. I also heard that the Tobey Maguire scene got cut from this movie. Really? Like, yeah, there's some scenes that I'm
Tobey
hearing.
Maguire's not getting murked or what? He's safe from this one,
at least not in this movie.
Okay.
That's what I heard. Now we'll see. Those are just rumors though. But
I have my other theory on who he could portray is the actual love interest of Wanda, Simon Williams, Wonder Man. So that is the character in the old Avengers comics that he's this dude. He wears a black costume, sleeveless, with a big W on his shirt, and he has red eyes. He always wears like Cyclops glasses, and he's always wearing like fucking jumpsuits and shit like that. He's always wearing fucking weird costumes, but he's like a superstar. He's like a superstar. But he was the person that they got the consciousness from to create Vision, like to give him his personality.
Okay.
So when Vision turned into the white, no soul stone, like Wanda just fell back in love with this guy because he was him to begin with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what if Bruce Campbell is playing this dude, and when Wanda comes out, he's like, Wanda, is that you? And WandaVision or Wanda or whatever, she's like, who the fuck is this guy? And it's him. He's just playing Wonder Man, because for a long time, a lot of comic book fans of the comic book industry, like, they've seen these movies and they've always, when Wanda came out, everybody wanted Wonder Man to come out in it. But what if Marvel and Kevin Feige was like, no, we're not going to use that bitch. Like, we're not going to bring that dude out. He's a little OP. He controls power and does all this other. She's got some really crazy powers, and he's strong as fuck, like Hulk strong.
Oh shit.
Yeah. What if they just bring him out as like a cameo, and then fucking Wanda like fucking tanks his ass, just like as a fucking callback to the comics or whatever?
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell could pull that shit off, dude.
He could definitely pull that shit off. But
I'll even show you a picture of this dude just so you can get a. I don't know if you brought up a picture of him.
No.
But I'll pull up a picture of him, and you can say like, hey man, that's kind of like a Bruce Campbell kind of guy, right? Let me get it. Here we go. And there he is. It's kind of like maybe not as muscly, but you can see where that's Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. Easy, dude. Yeah, easy. And he has that attitude also. Like, I think it'd be a perfect match for him. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it might be Wonder Man. So that's just my call. Guys, what do you think? Have you seen all the new trailers for Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness? What do you guys think? Are you hyped for the show? Have you got your tickets? Let us know in the comment section. I have not gotten my tickets. Brian, have you gotten your tickets?
Absolutely, I was
Did you
there,
really?
man.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah, I got
God.
him. I got him as soon as they dropped.
You were there during the Great Fall of AMC or
Nah,
what?
I had no issues whatsoever. I got my shits automatically, and I was there as soon as they were on sale. I waited. I woke up
Man,
early as fuck. Well, actually, I woke up early for no reason because they went on sale like 9 a.m. here my time. So I got up early for no reason. So yeah,
shit. John Castillo, my homie, says if Mephisto and Nightmare have been mentioned, what about Blackheart, which is the child of Mephisto? He's kind of like that character that's in it, the Shumagorath Gargantua character. He's also like a person that's trying to conquer the earth. He's an acolyte for his father and stuff like that. Good character. He's was made very prominent in the Marvel versus Capcom video game. Yeah, so that would be cool. I mean, it'd be interesting. He'd probably be one of the. I would kind of figure if they do something like that and they want to kind of build on Mephisto and Shumagorath, that he might be one of the next bosses up, since he's like right under Mephisto. So that'd be my call on that. We have let's see. Robert says, I saw a post that David Harbour, Red Guardian from Black Widow, is in it. That would be kind of interesting, but I kind of doubt it. Kind of don't. Black Widow or Red Guardian coming out in
everybody in the everybody that we've ever seen in the MCU is gonna be in this fucking.
Yeah, everybody. They're just gonna line up. There's gonna be a scene of the
See,
camera.
that's the
like,
reason why
sliding
I
by
just
everybody's
said
face.
that's why I'm at the point where just whatever you show me is gonna be okay, because at this point I'm just hearing just random fucking names now, and it's just like, all right, now I'm just ready to see it.
I'm just tired.
All right, now
Just
I'm
show
just
me the
ready to see
movie
it.
already.
Yeah,
Robert also says, bro, I feel like Wolverine is in it. Now, there's been big speculation that Daniel Radcliffe is in talks for being Wolverine. Harry
I did see
fucking
that.
Potter
I did
is
see
going
that.
to be Wolverine.
I would not be able to not see Harry Potter. I'm sorry.
I would possibly wait for Marvel to throw an Easter egg, and like in the middle of one of his fights, he gets like a cut that looks like a little like laser, like a lightning bolt on his forehead as
I would
Wolverine,
walk
and then
out.
it just heals. Then it
I would-
heals to be symbolism that he's not Harry anymore.
I listen. I'm
But
already
he will actually be Harry.
as is. I'm having a hard time not seeing Harry Potter. I don't need a fucking reminder that this guy's fucking Harry Potter, bro. I'm gonna be pissed off. I want to see Wolverine, bro. He's one of my favorite characters of all
And then
time.
I want to
but,
see
like,
fucking Emma
don't
Watson
give
come in
me
as Jean
fucking
Grey.
nah,
And then I
bro.
want to see the fucking Weasley kid come in as Doctor Doom.
I'm gonna be upset, yo. I'm gonna be really upset if this guy if he lands the job as Wolverine, bro. I'm gonna
Would
be
you really?
pissed.
I mean, even with the
Yeah,
aspect of
that's
what they
fucking
did with
Harry
Batman,
Potter, bro.
with
I'd rather
Robert
you give me
Pattinson.
I'd rather you give me a no-name fucking actor than you give me Harry Potter, bro.
What about
I'm
Clint
sorry.
Eastwood's son? He was the other guy that was in talks for a while.
Yeah, but he's too like
Skinny?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's
don't
like
give me-
one of the soldiers in Suicide Squad in the original one.
You can literally give me anybody else besides fucking Harry Potter, and I'm good, yo. Just don't. And I feel I sound like I'm hating on him, but no, I would not be able to unsee him.
What about Hugh Jackman? What if they just bring him back in his old age and do the
Fuck
old
yeah.
man Logan or whatever? I would be
I'll take it.
so down for an old man Logan instead.
I'll take
Because
it.
if I'm not mistaken, the girl that Daphne that played X-23 in the Logan movie is now 15, 16 years old. She's roughly the age of the female counterpart to Wolverine that's in the comic books right now, X-23. Minus that, I think Lauren's like, well, X-23 is going to be like, yeah, about 20-something years old in the show. Her younger sister, Honey Badger, is, but they're just all reprints of Wolverine. So I don't know how far that goes when it comes to characters and like wanting to see just recreations of the same character over and over again. And you know what I mean? I mean, that itself is its own conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's like you said, literally anybody and everybody's up for grabs right now when it comes to the cameo capabilities of what Marvel can do. Fuck, we might even get Gordon Ramsay as fucking, I don't know, Chef Boyardee surviving in the multiverse. A lot of people are starting to see the fact that what we talked about too, where it's not technically the Illuminati, but it's more of like the life raft that we were talking about. I've heard that in some conversations too, that some people are talking about it. And the only reason why is, like we said, is because all those fuckers are getting tanked. Like every one of them. And for them to introduce an Illuminati group and then they get wiped the fuck out by the first like thing, it would be no reason for Doctor Strange to be like, hey, you know what? I should make that group on my planet. It's a good omen. You know
No,
what I mean?
I honestly think that's a perfect reason why he would do it, because there isn't one anymore. There isn't a fucking Illuminati anymore. So now I got to make one. Like,
Unless
hey,
it,
that was a cool
unless like
concept. I saw what you guys tried to do. You just got on the wrong side of Wanda. So I'll
you got
take
the
it from
wrong
here.
people in your team, man.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'll take it from here, and I'll make sure that we have a decent. Yeah,
It's gonna end with like
that's
Charles
why I think.
Xavier.
That's why I think that a lot of the characters in this Illuminati are going to be throwaway characters. It
Yeah,
just so happens
definitely.
that it just so happens that one of them happens to be Charles Xavier.
Yeah, and Charles
You know what
Xavier
I'm
is gonna
saying?
look up at Cumberbatch and be like, "Avenge us" or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
he's gonna say some shit, and then he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make the Illuminati straight up. I'm gonna make an Illuminati group on Earth, but we're gonna live on Miami Beach or whatever." Yeah, but yeah, I'm still, man. I am so fucking hyped for Doctor Strange. This
Yeah.
has got to be one of the most recent films that I've told myself, like, I know I teach my fighters on those days, but like, I'm gonna cut a day out because
Yeah.
I'm gonna see that I'm gonna go wait in line like the old school days theater, and I'm gonna be like first in line to go see that shit. Like, I really need to. And then we'll do a discussion about it that Friday, of course. But yeah, I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited. Tell us in the comments how excited you are. Let us know what's up. Onwards to our major conversation, which is very important. But let me get this all rationalized. We do have news coming out of the DC universe. Now, this is something we've been talking about offside, off the live feed. We've been talking about it in the chat, but there has been discussions that Discovery Plus is looking at picking up acquisitions for DC and doing a whole revamp and a redo of the whole entire thing. What do you feel? Do you feel like this is a good thing or a bad thing, Brian?
Yeah, so just to clarify, they're going to be redoing a whole revamp of the of Warner Media, that is. I think the conversation that's here is, do you have faith in Discovery?
That's a good question.
Giving a shit about the DCEU, because as is, it's kind of a focal point for Warner Media and Warner Brothers.
I mean,
they've tried so hard to try to get this right, and they have just been coming up short. So now, in the midst of the DCEU being up in the air, if you will, not really knowing which way they're going, and now the parent company is changing over, there is a reality where they could just not give a fuck about the DCU and then just throw shit at a wall and call it a day. Now, I heard that being a topic of a conversation, which I'm going to double back to and actually get your perspective on that. But then also, there's a situation where they may shoot the shit into sixth gear and make the DCEU its own entity. So where it's like apart from everything else. You're not going to confuse this with Warner Brothers or Warner Media or Discovery. It'll just be the DCEU on its own and not connected with anything else.
Kind of like the way they're doing Marvel, I guess.
Basically.
Okay.
But I want to know what like, do you think there's an opportunity? Do you think there's a situation where Discovery could just drop the ball because of everything? These movies really aren't making that much money besides the first Wonder Woman and Aquaman, right? Justice League, I don't think they did well at the box office. So what is this? What kind of incentive does Discovery have with dumping more money into this? Like, sell me.
I think on my personal opinion, I think DC needs to be revamped.
Okay.
I think right now with the mess that they're sitting in with, of course.
But they're in the middle of a revamp, though.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, technically not really, right? And the reason why I say that is because, yes, all of the characters that they're being perpetrated right now as to what they've created and whatnot are all part of the Snyderverse. They're all the Snyderverse characters.
Yeah.
Minus the fact that now Henry Cavill is left. Ben Affleck has left and now is in talks to come back. Gal Gadot is on the cusp of leaving. Like she's right on the edge of wanting to walk away from it because of the Me Too movement and certain people that she's worked with in the directing world. Ezra Miller is sitting freshly locked up in a jail cell next to the rest of his rogue gallery. Um, Aquaman, Jason Momoa, technically doesn't have any idea of what's going on. He just shows up on set and acts like himself. And Ray Fisher got cut with Zack Snyder a while back when everything got let go because of his problems with the owner of WB or whatnot or whatever it is. I think right now they have the Flash movie that's going to be coming out. They just talked about bringing back or bringing uh, Jeffrey D. Morgan as Thomas Wayne. He just broke the news the other day talking about how he's been called in to play Thomas Wayne, which is Batman's dad's name in Flashpoint. So we know that character is probably going to stay in. We know that DC is very famous for maintaining that everything that they've created is part of the multiverse. So nothing is off the fucking table when it comes to, yeah, we can reference that. They've already broken that by putting Ezra Miller in the Flash TV show, referencing Michael Keaton and actually bringing him back now to a new film and putting those characters in the CW show. So even if right? Even if DC says, scratch everyone, we're bringing in Jensen Ackles, we're bringing in Madonna to play Wonder Woman, they just start bringing in random characters to start playing these characters. They revamp the
who's
whole
making
thing.
these calls though? Like this is something that Discovery is going to figure out that they're going to have a hard time. They don't look. DC does not have a Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of dickheads running around just making some weird fucking decisions.
Yeah, I think it's just the major shareholders that are out there just saying, okay, go.
So that's where you need to start, bro. You need someone that has a vision, believes in your vision, and can mass that shit up and make $1 billion each fucking movie.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, they did quote that they've gone to several people.
They had Jeff Johns, right? Yeah, and John Berg for DC Films. Like they had that in place. That shit the bed. Amber Heard. Now it's called Amber Heard.
Yeah.
And then I think Emma Watts, some lady Emma Watts is an executive. She turned down the gig. So that's weird that people are turning people are turning it. Well, no, Jeff Johns already had the job. But like an executive, you're telling me that executives wouldn't jump at the chance to be Kevin Feige or in control of the DC? People are like, they're passing this job up. They're not, there's not a line of people ready to take this job. Like that's a little alarming.
I think what they're going to probably end up having to do is go with someone that's like, you know what? As a matter of fact, I really think like a James Gunn, like with what he did with Peacemaker and coming in and actually being someone who knows the material a little bit and understanding how it should be done. Like someone like that needs to come in and run the whole thing. Can you imagine if James Gunn made the DC universe?
Yeah, but he's not a studio head.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not a studio head. Like he's lucky to have a fucking job as is.
Yeah, no shit.
So like,
boys and all this other shit.
Yeah, he's lucky to have a fucking job. So there's no way he's gonna be able to be an executive. Like if you keep him as a creative and you keep him as a director, you can cut ties with him pretty quickly. That's just a director. If he's your executive producer, he's your EP, and he's doing some off the wall shit, can't have it. Especially not now. We're in the middle of a revamp. We can't have a live wire like James Gunn as our EP. Can't do it.
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
He's a liability. Yeah, he's a liability. Hell no.
So what do you think DC needs to do then?
That's what they need to do. They need to get somebody as an EP, someone that is just as creative as they are business savvy, and they're able to get shit done. Like, have a vision. Kevin Feige has a vision, dude. The reason why his shit is so good and why the MCU is so well portrayed is because this is a vision that he's had years ago. Like what we're seeing right now, this guy thought up on a drunken night 10, 11, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason why this shit works. This guy is a fan. He loves this shit.
You
The
know,
reason why the reason why James Gunn's movies are so well is because he loves this shit. He did something in the MCU for Disney, jumped right over into the DCU, and I actually like the second. I actually like both of the Suicide Squad. So I don't know how much you want to take my review on that, or you
that's
take
cool. I mean,
like I like
it. I mean,
but he was able to succeed on both platforms and like on both podiums. So I don't know, man. He could not be your EP, but that's what you need. That's where you start. That's what Discovery needs. You need to get a Kevin Feige in place and start from there. Now you can fail, you can succeed, but it's gonna come ultimately on one person, and that's it.
But what do you think is next for the DC universe right now?
They don't fucking know. How the fuck am I supposed to know? Like they don't even know who's in charge over there, bro. Like Discovery just acquired them, so they don't even like that's why this is the topic that we're talking about, is because where do you think Discovery goes here? What do you think they do? Like, do they pump a lot of money into DC, or do they scrap it, or do they say fuck it, it's gonna just be its own entity that we're in control of, and just let somebody take control of it and just do what they wanted? I don't know.
I think personally myself, I think for what it's worth right now, it's just a plane that's on fire that's going down. Like whatever it is right now that the DC universe is, just needs to be scrapped. Minus what they're doing with Robert Pattinson's character, I think, you know, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt and say he could run a Batman series. I think with him doing the first one, he could see the success in it. But as an actor, do you see Robert Pattinson coming back to do a 10-year contract, 12-year contract, you know, eight film deal? That's where I feel like the problem is nowadays with some of these actors, is that they're looking at if I am contractually obligated to a film for 10 years, I can't do anything else except that film. And then it hinders them the opportunity to not be in other masterpieces and whatnot. Like, that's what I think the problem is that's like with, you know, Chris Evans, right? Nothing against him as an actor. You know, he talked about how he doesn't really want to come back to Captain America because he feels like the character's already got enough of his representation and is good to go on whatever they left out on. But I don't really see Chris Evans as an actor that's being requested as much right now in popularity when it comes to his acting dimensions. That's nothing against him as an actor. I think he's great. I'm a huge fan of his for Captain America and what he's done for the character. But I don't see him being called on others' parts. So when he sees it and says, well, you know what, I've already given enough of my time, I want to do something else. I mean, we heard it. And I even think that you had issues with it when Tom Holland was talking about it. Right? When Tom Holland came out and said, you know what, I want to take a break. I need to do this and that. I don't want to do Spider-Man movies for the rest of my life or whatnot. Right? I think you kind of had issue to it and being like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? You just made 1 movie, 2 movies, 3 movies, get out of town. Like, you can do a couple more and get it out of your system or whatever. But in the essence of it, like, you know, him talking about settling down or making a family or him wanting to expand on, look at what happened the moment he expanded and went in to do Uncharted. You know what I mean? Like, you get typecasted fairly well in the industry when you do like Tom Holland stuff. Like, he's done Spider-Man. So when you put him in any other film, of course, anybody's going to want to do action. You look at Scarlett Johansson, yours and Kevin Feige's favorite actress.
Of all time.
Every time she gets typecasted into a role, it's always the same action role that she's playing in every other film. She never gets that opportunity to act. Because the bigger actors or the bigger directors that are looking for those roles are filling it with other people.
Yeah.
Right. So what do? Like, you have a guy like Robert Pattinson, and being that he is a theologian, you know, a person that focuses more on the artistic side of the acting community, I kind of feel like he is not a person to be tied down like Chris Evans would or Mark Ruffalo or any of these guys. He's more like the Christian Bale type of guy. or the Hugh Jackman, which Hugh Jackman has, of course, done a lot of roles as Logan, but he would instantly choose theater over film in a heartbeat. I kind of feel like Robert Patterson's the same when it comes to doing more artistic films. And I kind of feel like the Batman role isn't something he's going to do for a lifetime. I kind of feel like it's something that he'd probably do for like a trilogy, maybe, but nothing past that. But where does that put us in the sense of what we're going to do with DC in the next couple of years? Like, let me ask you something.
So wait, before you ask that question, I wanted to just jump in really quick. So
Shoot.
David Zaslav, the owner of Discovery, who just acquired the Warner Media, whatever, he had an interview, and he was explaining about specifically the DC and what he envisions happening next. So to answer your question, he said Discovery insiders believe that although DC has achieved cinematic success with recent films such as Aquaman and The Batman, it lacks coherent creative and brand strategy. Discovery believes that several top shelf characters such as Superman have been left to languish and need to be revitalized. Wow, sorry.
Okay.
They also believe that projects like Todd Phillips' Joker are a shining example of how second-built characters from the DC library can and should be exploited. So it goes on. There's like more that he says. So judging from that, like he has plans to like make this like a focal point. Like he hasn't forgot about the DCEU.
Good. And I kind of feel like he's going off of the blueprint of what Marvel's created, but I think he'll take his time.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. He's willing to take his time. And he respects the aspect on what popularity the Joker brought in the way that it was. I don't like the idea of someone using the word exploited, because I just feel like it's just them throwing characters out there just to make the cash. And if there's anything that Warner Brothers has done well in this past year is exploit the entire DC universe to just try to make a quick buck on whatever it is that they did.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. For right now, we've talked about this a million times. Right now, there's really nothing that someone cannot come and do to fix what the DC's already done. Like the DC universe itself has kind of like put its own shoe in its mouth a bunch of times. And I think with the situation at hand, with what's going on with a lot of these actors and whatnot, I mean, being that
means I got to get another Superman origin story and another Batman origin fucking story. And come on, man, like just pick something and stick with it, bro. Like,
okay, so watch. Let me ask you something,
man.
Because you're right. We've seen Batman a bunch of times. I've seen that guy's parents die more than I've seen Santa, fucking giving kids presents. I've seen just a million times. Superman 2. I've seen that guy crash on Earth so many times. I'm just tired of it. Where do you think they would start or should start? Should they already start like at a moment that Batman and Superman have already created a relationship or known each other? Do you think they know of each other? Maybe following the animated series started off like they've already kind of acquired this team up from a while back, and now they're just creating the Justice League the way they did in the animated series more. Like the thing is a lot of people, it's like you said, there's a superhero origin, let's call it fatigue. Superhero origin fatigue.
Yeah.
Where do you think would be a proper start then if they did a revamp?
The more that I'm thinking about it, they can't do a revamp. They can't. They're just gonna have to go with whatever they have going and just hope that they put the right people in place to make it as successful as possible. Like this is like I don't understand. I can't see how there can be a revamp. Like, so what is that? What is that? Like, just think about that. What that means. That means you're scrapping Aquaman, you're scrapping Wonder Woman, you're scrapping. Now, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, if I'm not mistaken, are $1 billion movies. It's $1 billion movies. So you're gonna scrap the only $2 billion movies that you've had besides, well, no, that's it. So you're gonna scrap those. Let's just put the money aside. That already I can't scrap because I can't lose those IPs because that makes me money. But then I scrap it, and then what am I left with? I have to start all over again.
Yep.
There cannot be a revamp. I like it. What direction they're going in right now? They're just gonna have to ride this out. If that means keeping part of the Snyderverse with Ezra Miller and Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa, and just sprinkling in the new trilogy with Batwoman or Batgirl and Supergirl. Like I don't know, bro. But you have to pick a lane and just fucking and ride this one out because I'm confused. I'm confused. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so this goes out to anyone in the comics. What do you guys think that they should do with any type of revamp? What's your idea? You know, give us your ideas and comments. Because what I think that they should do is if they do a revamp or a redo of the series, I think they should do a Justice League, but call it Justice League Trinity. And they should do the first movie based on introducing the team up of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman all together fighting a nemesis together. I know that's very similar. Yeah, right into it with your new cast.
Okay.
New cast. Just throw them right in and don't do fucking Batman versus Superman. Don't do that shit like they did because I did not like that story. That's just me. I know a lot of people like it because it was a good telling of a story and they wanted to see these two Goliaths or Titans attack each other. I get it, but I wasn't a big fan of it story-wise. But I think they should bring him in as kind of like the same way, but make it a tad bit more playful between all three, you know, make the banter a little bit better, kind of take some hints from the animated series, but make it specifically that the first film is literally called the Justice League. Like, don't make a Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, and then try to bring them all together. And don't do that. First movie, Justice League Trinity. You establish the Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Each of them play their part. Each of them show their strengths against two villains, maybe three villains, maybe one. It doesn't matter. And then in the following movies is the buildup to introduce the next character that we already know of. You know, the next character is, you know, bring in Cyborg and bring in Aquaman. And then the last one, bring in Flash. Like that way,
that's rough though. That's rough though because not only are you introducing us to new actors, to new characters, but now that's asking a lot of the fans. That's asking a lot of the viewer to not have any backstory to your version of Batman, Superman, Flash.
You already know the backstory to all the characters.
I understand that, but we don't know. That's asking a lot of us to accept these new people as our superheroes with we know the backstory, but it's like you see what I'm saying? Like that's asking a lot for us to accept that and to have a character development at the same. I don't know.
That could all be introduced by flashbacks or remembrance. That's what they just did with this Batman. Like you can't say that's not a bad idea.
You're gonna convolute this mashup story with flashbacks.
There's no convolute because you already know the story of Batman. Like you already know the story of Superman. You already know the story of Wonder Woman. They don't get any more complicated than that unless the artist as the writer wants to make it more complicated.
Okay, but without the character development, right? Where is the connection? Where is the passion that the viewer is going to have for these people?
All you got to do, you already have passion for the characters. Like you already have that because you know each individual character and what they come from and their background, their stories. You know,
I didn't have passion. I didn't have passion for Iron Man before the MCU put him in the movies. Yeah, I didn't have passion for Captain America for like seriously. I didn't give a fuck about Captain America before the MCU movies started coming out. I didn't give a shit.
But you know their character stories.
I do, but watching them and watching 3 movies of character development and then seeing them, or 2 movies and then seeing them mash up, that was explosive. That's the reason why the Avengers was so good, or that's the reason why the Avengers was such a blockbuster, was because it was the lead up to it. It was the payoff. You can't start with the payoff. Like where that's
the thing. We're not starting with the payoff.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I think that is
the Justice League Trinity movie would not be the payoff. Okay. That is just the introduction to the 3 Trinity characters.
Okay.
Which is the base, the foundation of what the Justice League is.
Okay.
So without having to do an individual Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman movie, you just throw a solid movie of the Justice League specifically focused on the Trinity, those three characters.
Okay.
And them coming together. You're, like I said, you already know the story of Batman. You already know the fundamental story of Superman and what he stands for.
Mhm.
And you know the fundamental story of Wonder Woman and what she stands for. You give them a common enemy, a common foe to work together. At first, they bump heads, but then they find their strengths and they learn to work together and they start respecting each other. Because at first, like Batman doesn't respect Superman nor Wonder Woman. You know, Wonder Woman doesn't respect men, so she doesn't care for either one of them. And she thinks she can do it on her own. And Superman doesn't know either one of them and doesn't trust their strengths to be able to help him. And he'd rather risk himself to solve the problem and, you know, sacrifice himself and without anybody else getting hurt or whatever.
In 2 hours or 3 hours.
Whatever it takes. I mean, I've seen it done in simpler terms. I mean,
that movie is
writer,
gonna fucking tank, bro.
I mean, it can't tank any worse than these movies
that movie is
now,
gonna
man.
fucking tank because there's not gonna, no one's gonna give a shit about it.
I don't know. It's just one of those things.
That's asking again. That's asking a lot of the viewer just to accept. You kind of want to take that away from them. You kind of want to disarm the viewer in that sense to where they're like, all right, well, Flash is cool, but whoever's playing Superman is an asshole. I don't like him. So now you're taking out the movie. It's like that's what I'm saying. Like I get it. Honestly, I think if they are going to revamp, that's probably going to be the best thing that they could possibly do.
Yeah, because
just
I was going to say
it all
like,
and just go straight into Justice League. I still think, even though me thinking that is probably what I would want, that's going to be asking the casual fan. It's going to be asking a lot from them.
I mean, look at how popular Superman versus Batman was.
Okay.
And that was the first introduction to Ben Affleck being Batman. Right?
No. I thought he said he had a movie before that, right?
No. Did he play Batman in an individual movie?
I thought he had a movie before.
I thought that was his introduction
Batman versus Superman.
Because Man of Steel was right before that.
Okay.
So if that's not the case, Batman came out during Man versus Batman or Man versus Superman versus Batman.
Okay.
And then Justice League came out, which introduced him again as Batman.
Okay.
So for Batman's first introduction to his film, they had him fight a whole fucking movie versus Superman. And then sprinkle in a dose of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. But Batman didn't have his own individual movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I think I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's the way it went.
Okay.
But look at how successful money-wise that movie was.
Yeah.
Because everyone, for some stupid reason, without having a backstory, thought Batman versus Superman would be a great idea. And I remember the hype and the lead up to that movie, that everyone was so excited. No one gave a shit that he didn't have an origin story before that. All of Bruce Wayne's origin story was told in flashbacks in that film. Hence the reason why the entire aspect of Man versus Steel or Man versus Superman versus Batman was Martha. My mom's name is Martha.
But that's different though. We were already like in a universe though, right?
No.
Like
we were just in Man versus Man of Steel.
No, but there is a bigger universe there though, because like that was
the bigger universe was only established in that at the ending of the film when Superman's casket gets like rocks to fly up. So then you know Superman's going to return, but you did not know he was going to return to fight Batman in the next movie, which was introduced at the intro of the movie when he's saving people from Man of Steel's film when he's getting cut, right?
What?
So we went into that second film with no origin story of Batman, no telling of what we knew how Ben Affleck was going to be as an actor. Mm-hmm. But he went in to fight and do the biggest arc that Superman versus Batman could have. And then not only that, to fight against Superman's biggest threat, which is Doomsday. So in essence, that film was like a faster paced version of the Trinity story I'm talking about. But
we still needed that for Justice League.
Yeah, but
we needed that.
But the thing is,
even then there was character development. There was there was a build up, and the fact that Superman and Batman. So when Justice League happened, and we see the turmoil that Bruce is going through because he lost Superman. We understand that. Like we get that. Like that's why it hit harder, because we understood that we've been there through him, regardless of how ever movies he's been in was the lead up to it. Listen, I'm an advocate. I think I just like to give pushback. But I honestly think, like, if they're gonna, I honestly think this is all like for nothing, because they can't revamp, like they can't start over from what they're already doing, which is a start over. I don't think they can just scrap this, because there's no way. They're coming out with a Batgirl series, a Flash movie, and
I think they're just getting caught very bad with their pants down.
Another Aquaman. They have like the next 2 or 3 years already slated. Like, you're not cutting that. Like, you're not stopping that. You're not just.
But what do you do when half of your cast is gone, if not fired or let go of?
You're about to find out in the Flash.
Dude.
Like, you're about to find out.
Because, like, literally in the top of my head, I'm trying to think of, like, what are the best possible options for Discovery to come in and do better, right? Because my thing is, I 100% think they can just revamp, because no one's going to not watch that movie. And then if they knock it out of the park, everyone's just going to be like, well, thank God they did this, because they needed this. And yeah, you'll have your fans that are like, restore the Snyderverse or whatever. Snyderverse is dead in the water. Like, it's fucking dead, dude. Like, if anything, we talked about this last week. Ezra Miller put the fucking nail in the coffin in that one. It's done. Yeah. I don't even know what they're going to do past the Flash movie. If anything, my thing is, it's either going to be they're going to fire Ezra Miller. That's for fucking sure, because you can't have a person doing what he's doing and then be a child movie icon / whatever. But they just need to probably introduce Wally West and just revamp the character from Wally and leave Barry out of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because, I mean, Wally West is the Flash in the majority of most arcs. And you can shelve Barry Allen off of the first Flash movie in the Paradox. And then Wally West will be the Flash that's coming up, which is a whole new character. Right?
Yep.
So they can run that way. But the whole thing about me talking about the whole idea of bringing in this idea of Justice League Trinity would be very similar to Batman versus Superman, minus the weird, let's get Superman and Batman fight to work in a story and make it literally about them coming together as a team, knowing about each other, doing their own things in their own cities. You're going to have to make the event worldwide. But we know that Superman, fucking saves cats in trees and walks old ladies across the street. We know Batman beats up dudes in alleys and fights clowns and shit. And we know Wonder Woman fights fucking magicians and fucking beats up, ancient gods. We just got to give them something that they can beat the shit out of. Fuck, maybe we can even get Ares and someone else to come in, because I think it was atrocious what they did with Ares in the Wonder Woman series. Like, the villain of Ares, I thought it was so badly done. They could do so much more with his character. Okay. And he's like a worldwide character. Like, you can literally have him be like that godly ethnical character that just comes around and makes the entire world go crazy. And then just stack him with one of either Mongol, dude. Look at what they did to Mongol's girlfriend in fucking Suicide Squad 2. You know, I'm talking about the alien chick, the fucking purple, the one that looks like Thanos.
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay, so in Suicide Squad, the one that James Gunn did, she was one of the characters. Dude, that chick is super strong. She's like She-Hulk. Her dude, Mongol, I think his name is like one of Superman's most like ferocious Thanos villains. Mm-hmm. And they fucking, James Gunn fucking tanked his girlfriend like nothing, dude. It was so fucking funny. But, you can bring in that character. He just wants to conquer worlds. He doesn't give a shit. He's not as well played as Thanos is in certain stories. He's just like the Hulk in space. So you can bring him as a character and have Superman fight. You know what I mean? There's so many ways you could do it. Yeah. But I think what they need to do is establish the Trinity. And then from the Trinity, go into the tree of all the characters and start bringing out all the characters. That's what I think. That's just me, though. I'm just being a little weird, I guess. But yeah, I really I'm looking at this Discovery buyout of DC Universe as a whole badass thing. I think it's fucking fantastic. I think DC needs a reshuffling of shit in its staff and its workforce, so that way they can get this shit out the right way. Because I can't be the only person out here that is hoping for a better DC universe, like a better cinematic universe for the DC universe? I can't be the only person because it's a mess, dude.
It's a mess. I
It's a
mean, I'm
mess.
starting to like week by week and everything that's coming out. I'm starting to care less and less about it, to be honest with you. So, I mean, do whatever you guys can. If it looks cool, I may check it out. I may not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm perfectly content just getting all of my content from fucking Disney.
I mean, because they're not doing it wrong. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm
they're not
fine.
doing it wrong. But yeah, guys, what do you think? What do you think about the Discovery acquisition of it? Grabbing what WB? Is that what it bought? Or what did it buy? I don't even know what
Warner
Discovery
is
bought.
no. They bought the Warner Media. So like the HBO and I think all of the media services of Warner Brothers. That's what they acquired in this.
So is there a possibility we're gonna get like a DCU version of Ghost Hunters?
You
Ghost
could.
Adventures? Fuck,
It's a possibility now.
Dude, in
It's a
the
possibility
Justice League.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm totally about that shit. That guy is amazing. He'll be like, "Yo, Ghost, what you got? I dare you to come and push me," and then gets touched, and he's like, "Okay, I'm sorry, Ghost." I love. You ever watch those shows or no?
No.
I love those shows. The Ghost Hunter shows, they're so fucking G, dude.
So
They're
they
so
just
fake as shit, but they're so good.
Yeah, it's fake as fuck,
they're
bro.
fucking fake
Like,
as fuck, but they're so good, dude.
do they at least like? Do they even give you like CGI shit to at least make it seem like there's ghosts?
Dude,
Nah,
they'll just be like,
just
"Oh, look
a
at that
bunch of
fucking
weirdos. So it's
look at
basically
that-
just a
look at
bunch
that
of
fucking light
weirdos
turn on."
in infrared. I'm sorry, with fucking night vision, fucking just walking around some abandoned shit, scaring each other to death. That sounds great. I'm gonna pass, bro.
I'm gonna send you a bunch of stupid shit
Do
now.
don't send me anything
send you a
that has to
fucking
do with Ghost Hunters.
What would it be? A compilation?
I beg you, sir. I beg you.
Compilation of fake ass freakouts.
Don't email me. Don't copy and paste. Don't do anything. I don't want to see it. I'm good.
So going back a little bit, my boy Edgar says that no, this is for Ben Affleck. DC has good shows but shit movies, and that that Robert Pattinson says he is not. He's quitting Batman, and Ben is coming back. So have you heard about this? Is Robert Pattinson like left the Batman role and is letting Ben Affleck come back? No, I think they're both going to be the Batman, which is,
dude.
I've
been listening to you and reading this article, just enamored by Disney and Bob Chapek and his "Don't Say Gay" law. Like this should have been one of our topics, bro. This is some wild shit.
What is it about? What are you talking? What is that?
I'm reading it right now, so I'm not really the best guy to ask, but apparently, Florida, just introduced a new law, calling it the "Don't Say Gay" law, which will ban schools from teaching students in the 3rd grade and below about gender identity and sexual orientation.
Okay.
Apparently, the CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek, made the situation worse by saying the company can make lasting change through its content with films like Encanto and TV shows. Okay, so basically, a lot of the people wanted Bob Chapek, the CEO of Disney, to come out against this law.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that it's better making movies like Encanto and having TV shows like Modern Family rather than coming out publicly and making Dirtbag DeSanto an anime, basically.
I like anime. What does he have against anime?
Is enemy?
Oh, anime. Oh, I thought it said anime. I was like, I like anime. He doesn't like anime. It's better than making DeSanto an anime.
But yeah, didn't mean to get sidetracked. You guys can look it up. It's an ongoing. It's just happened like a day or two ago. It's an ongoing thing. Disney's getting a lot of heat from the LGBTQIA plus. So yeah, you guys look it up. It's very interesting.
But they're getting a lot of heat because they're for it or against it.
They're not anything. They're just not. People want them as a huge
a weapon
staple. No, just it's a staple in Florida. Like they are a staple in Florida, and they want them to outwardly condemn this law.
But they're just choosing not to be a part of it.
they're choosing not to be a part of it and saying that with our content, that's how we express openness and acceptance of all
Mhm.
of all people, no matter what. And that's what they're basically saying. So
I mean, did you hear that they've taken out the idea at Disneyland about saying hello, boys and girls? That's a big move too. Now they're just saying like, welcome everyone. They're trying to make it to where there's no more gender specific wording by any of the actors in the park.
mhm.
That's pretty
I
like
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
yeah, that was recently done. I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's very
Says
considerate.
It says employees challenged Chapek in an open letter asserting their leadership still does not truly understand the impact this legislation is having, not only on cast members in the state of Florida, but on all members in the LGBTQIA plus community in the company and beyond. Traditionally, Disney employees are fierce in their loyalty to the company, but shit is changing after this legislation, basically. So. Chapek did apologize and eventually condemned the legislation, but employees still walked out. So there was a protest. So Chapek did apologize and eventually condemned the legislation, but employees still walked out to protest the company's initial response. So motherfuckers is walking out on
So they're
Disney.
literally trying to do a cancel on Disney.
They didn't move fast enough, and they didn't like the response from their employees. So yeah, they went on. They did a walkout apparently.
Yeah. Well, shit, I like to see what's gonna happen to this because it's an interesting concept,
Yeah,
an interesting weight, but we'll just have to see how it all plays out. Is this something that just happened recently?
yeah, it just happened like a day or two ago.
Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy. I did hear about. I mean, we don't really discuss anything like that too much, but I heard about the stuff that was going on like in Cali where teachers were teaching children about like the LGBT stuff at a really early age and talking about genders and all this other stuff for children. And I know that it's a big talking point in like a lot of like the political scenes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I think it's just a really dicey subject to kind of like hold conversations about and come to like an agreement on because it's always going to be touching every situation. Everybody needs to be respected and not privatized or exclusively like pushed aside. But at what age does it become normalized to start teaching people about those concepts? So it's a very, very touchy subject, and we respect everyone in that concept, but just do your best to support your cast and support your part of the side, and don't be violent. Please don't be violent. Just be fucking smart for once.
Yeah.
But going on to the last part of our conversation. So let's throw it down.
Yeah.
Everyone out there, of course, we want to hear your opinion. What are your thoughts on the Discovery Plus acquisition of Warner Media? Do you think it's a good thing or bad thing if DC decides to do a revamp or a redo of the entire film industry that they have? Or do you think that it should be keep going in the direction that it's going with its serious, darker roles and then its superhero roles subjugated into the Justice League series? Onwards into the next series. My boy Brian. Here we go again. Here we go again. Episode, what is it? Episode 3?
It's episode 3.
Oh no. Episode 3 of Moon Knight. What do you think? Tell me, what did you think?
Honestly, I'm glad that I gave it another shot. This was my favorite episode. This gave me the right balance of acting, action, drama, everything. We got a teaser into the third personality. We got a little bit more character development. We got a lot more Mark Spector in this episode, which I think was lacking in the first 2 episodes. Yeah, I like this episode, and honestly, I'm glad I gave it a little bit more leeway because Oscar Isaac is killing it, bro. Like, there's just no way around it. He's killing it, bro.
He's an amazing actor.
He's killing it. He's killing it. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't watch the show. But he's killing it, and it's what got me. It was the scene where. It was a scene where Mark had to put together the little fucking flag star shit.
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
He had to put that together.
Guy, man.
So it was
or whatever.
Yeah, it was the transition. It was a transition from Mark to what's the other jerk off's name?
Stephen Grant.
Steven, yeah. So the transition from Mark to Steven, like the facial expression, like that wasn't edited. That was just a straight through shot. He's fucking killing it. So just off of respect for how good my boy is killing it, I'm gonna watch the rest of it. Like I'm not gonna say anything else bad about it because he's killing it, bro. And he's been killing it. I just want some more action. Just give me like a little bit more action, and I'm good, bro.
Got it. For me, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of bored.
Okay.
I'm really kind of bored of the show. I think even okay, yes, episode 3 gave me some more action, but for some reason I was expecting more hand-to-hand combat. Deadpool in some of his films doing some jumps and some flips. Like I know he went out there and did like 1 or 2 moves in CG and did like some special moves, but like I feel that the fight scenes feel kind of rushed.
Okay.
I feel like they don't give me enough to let me know that Moon Knight is like a hand-to-hand specialist.
Yeah.
Like he just goes out there and does some fucking 1 or 2 hits and does some shit. I mean, there was even one part where Moon Knight comes out and there's like 6 guys or 8 guys shooting at him, and he just spins around and like takes out all 8 guys, like, and they're like 100 miles away or whatever. And I was kind of like, well, that sucks. Like, I mean, why didn't he just do that to the other 3 guys that were still standing there? Did he run out of knives? Like, what I don't know. Like, there was just
the bullets though.
No, those weren't bullets. Those are knives.
With the you said taking out the 9 guys. That's when you said when he turned around.
Yeah, he spins and his cape like opens up and you see knives come out of his cape and they fly.
Nah, that was bro. It was the bullets, man. The cape caught the bullets. He turned around and shot the bullets back at him, and that's what took out the 9 guys. It wasn't knives. It was fucking bullets, bro.
Well, I didn't get that. I didn't get the memo that it was bullets. Because
how did you not see that? How do you not see the bullets in his cape? See, you just want to hate on it. That's what it is. I figured you out. You just want to hate on this shit, bro. My boy Oscar Isaac is putting on a clinic. A clinic.
No, I mean
a clinic, and you're over here fighting it. Don't fight it, bro.
I'm telling you, it's just I
want more hand-to-hand combat. Yo, this is the most hand-to-hand combat of the whole fucking show.
No, not even, man.
Yeah, this was the best.
Yeah, that was still the most hand-to-hand combat in the whole show. I really think that the girls' fight scene with the dude in the little pyramid, that was better than Moon Knight's fight scenes.
Okay. Well,
and that's what I mean is that there's more realism to that girls' fights than to the way they're handling Moon Knight's action sequences.
It's the acting. The acting is
I'm not even
sucks because that's what I'm saying. Like it sucks because like it's an action show. So I want there to be more action. But the fact that the acting is so good, I can't just turn my virus, I can't just turn that off. Like in episode 2, which I shitted on, by the way. I drank some of your Kool-Aid. I shitted on that episode. But in episode 2, when Steven was inside of the little storage area, the conversation between him and Mark, and then just that whole scene was spectacular, bro. Like that was a clinic. Watching Oscar Isaac do this by himself, by the way, is fucking amazing.
Same thing that I said about Tom Holland in Venom.
Wait, are you comparing Venom to this?
No, I'm comparing Tom Holland's acting to the way Oscar Isaac is doing a speaking role to someone that's not actually in front of him.
You mean Tom Hardy or Tom Holland? You mean Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy, right?
Okay.
I forget their names. Everybody's a damn Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about Tom Hardy? Tom Hardy
actor has to do these roles where they're almost speaking to themselves and they're acting just to themselves. I think it's very difficult for actors to do that, and I find it very a good show of their acting capabilities when they're able to change personalities, like you said, like the way Oscar Isaac is portraying 3 characters, not just 2, because he is doing Khonshu on one of them too, which was a very interesting take on the way he does Khonshus in the trial when he's kind of like really Shakespearean, very, very off time, kind of like speaking. I think Oscar Isaac's doing an amazing job.
I think people were shitting on that. I saw a lot of people shitting on that scene because
it's supposed to be done that way. It's supposed to be
it was
uncomfortable. The chick even tells him like it's gonna be weird at first.
it's gonna be weird at first. Yeah,
and
that's
he
why
doesn't know how to
people
act it out. Like you see all the other people that are the
they just letting
avatars
it
for these
happen.
people, and they already know what happens. That for that moment when they speak, the God speaks for him, and they're just this dude doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He doesn't know how to handle it. It's just a brawler, dude. He's just a dude that boxes and fights and kicks ass, dude. Like give him a break. I think he did an amazing job, and I like the way Oscar Isaac's doing it. But I am a stickler when it comes to action shit.
So how is it not for you when it's just like this is a clinic, bro? Ethan Hawke is doing a phenomenal job, bro.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke, and you know what they did express a lot more of the glass in the shoe.
You hear it now, right?
To it more this time. But the thing is there's a lot of silence and long walks with his character in this one.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because at the ending of the episode, you end up finding out that he talks about it and he says, you know what, like when I became your avatar, I literally lost all emotion and I feel like I just love the pain.
I like that shit.
Yeah, I liked it. And that's why he does it. Like now it expresses the idea of why he did that in the first place. I'm telling you, like I waited 2 episodes for some type of audience appreciation to that moment or some type of nod to the audience of why he did that.
Yeah.
Like I knew why he did that. It's like sadomasochism or whatever, or in the aspect of he's just a husk and he doesn't feel pain and he wants to that gets him to the closest of feeling alive. Or I get all the symbolism to it as an actor or as a person that writes stories. I get all that, but
yeah,
I just feel like the audience when they saw it, they'd be like, "God, it's so fucking weird. What a freaky dude that shits in beds or whatever." You know what I mean? Like I just didn't want it to be like that. But I'm a stickler when it comes to action sequences in films and studies. And, you know, I myself, you know, being in martial arts, I wanted to be an action star. I wanted to do all that shit as a kid. And I did a lot of research and studying and a lot of, you know, testing on my own and stuff like that. I think Oscar Isaac needs a little bit more work with his stunt stuff. And I know he's an older gentleman.
Wait.
Because I'll vouch. The scene when he's fighting the 2 guys on the roof, that was a shitty fight scene.
Okay, it's Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like him himself as an actor, like he's amazing. But I think as an action person, he needs a little bit more help with it, just a little bit more. And I feel that that's more of the cinematographer and the director and the stunt.
I was gonna say because you can shoot some shit and make it look a lot better than what was done. Like you could have hid that. Like,
my biggest thing that I saw in this one, and this is just me being a stickler. I'm very detailed when it comes to certain things. There was a scene that happens that I think the timing was off, and I think the director should not allow it to go through because it was a little weird. But it was the scene, and you guys can go back and check it out, and you can tell me if you feel like the seconds are off. He jumps off the 18-wheeler when he's chasing the guys, and there's a really cool trick that you use is when you have an actor and you need a stunt switch, when the person falls, like if this is my cup or he's jumping off of a building, he jumps in front of something and then the actor runs out. But you block that entrance of the stunt guy landing and then the actor running.
Okay.
That was the chase scene when he's chasing the dudes down the Egyptian street. He jumps off the 18-wheeler and he lands and it's behind a car. You don't see him. But the timing from when the land is to when he takes off running, it was too long.
And when he's chasing them, he jumps from the. Okay, I got you. I was trying to place.
Yeah. You can go back and watch it and see if it's a little weird.
No, I got it. But like it, I know exactly what scene because like when he jumps down, it seems like he might have like rolled, but it was.
But there's no roll. There's nothing because there's a car in the way, and the car's purposely put there because there's no way they're going to allow Oscar Isaac to jump from that high of a place and then not, you know, be like, hey, well, let's get this guy some broken ankles at like 53 years old or however old he is.
Yeah.
They bring in a stunt guy, but the timing was off, and I don't know why the director allowed it because it does change the pace of the shot, right? Yeah. The other thing was the fight scene on the roof with the 2 guys. Like, yeah, there was some really fun parts in it, but like his stance is so trash. The way he throws punches, it's very more theatrical than it is action film. It looks more like a stage fight than a theatrical like film fight. Mm-hmm. And it does not perpetrate the way that he fights in the Moon Knight costume later on when he's doing flips and being like a crazy martial artist and all that stuff. But then you chalk it up for, well, it's because he's got fucking superpowers. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like they really focused a lot on Oscar Isaac's fight scene earlier when they should have taken that time to focus on Moon Knight's fight scenes hand to hand. I would have wanted to see Moon Knight hand-to-hand combat be like as long, or if not as detailed as they did that fight scene.
Mm.
But the thing is I know that fight scene was purposely put there because they needed to show that there is possibly a third personality there that's doing some other shit.
Yeah.
They needed to show that there was someone more extreme than this guy. Which, yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, they perpetrated it. We got it. We understand it. There's a third guy. I myself feel.
No, see, I hate it because you know what? When you get like this, there's nothing that this show can do to save itself. So it just sucks that like now I'm gonna have to come here every week and say how much I like it,
hate it,
and you're just gonna take a big fat Amber Heard right on the motherfucker, bro. And
it's not even in his bed. I'm gonna just shit in his shoes, man.
Yeah, like there's nothing that this show now from here on out for the next 3 episodes. There's 3 more. From here on out, it could be the most fantastic shit me and everybody that watches or listening has ever seen. And you're gonna be like, nah, I'm over it. I'm done.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's not the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, it's fucking not that.
Very.
It's not that. But I don't know. Like, there's something about it that's, I don't know if it's the pace of the shot or whatnot, but I don't know if my mind's clicking that the movie reminds me a lot of like National Treasure. So what I'm expecting is he gets somewhere, he tries to solve some shit, bullets fly and they go running, or he punches some dudes like Indiana Jones or whatnot. But I'm not expecting a big fight scene. I'm never expecting a big fight scene. That was the first thing. I'm not expecting it until we get Moon Knight. But there's no one that's gonna fight Moon Knight and give him a fucking fight. Not a jackal, not a random dude on a horse. There's no one that's gonna give him a fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is the episode decided to focus on a Spectre fighting on the top of those roof with those dudes, like a lot. There was a lot of detail in it. And yeah, that kind of made me feel a little bit or whatever. But when it got to the Moon Knight part, I dug that they're giving him more time. I like the banter between Moon Knight and Mr. Knight, and the banter and relationship build from Mark Spector to Steve Grant. I think you're absolutely correct that watching Oscar Isaac portray these 2 roles is pretty amazing. And I guess, and I mean, I'm not guessing, I can kind of feel like it could probably be a lot for an actor to have to portray 3, much less 4, including the god of the Khonshu god, and then into the third character who's supposed to be like the assassin mercenary guy that's like super hardcore, like Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Where Mark Spector is like a weird thug or just a basic dude, the Chad. And then Stephen Grant's supposed to be like the wussy scientist guy. That's because each character is supposed to have his personality, including Moon Knight and including Mr. Knight. Thank God they did it as armor. Thank fucking God they did it, because that would have been like 5 roles he has to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So how do you feel knowing that what you ultimately want is, or one of the things that you could have used more of is fighting with Moon Knight, but knowing that you're probably not going to get that in this episode because Moon Knight is no longer around. Now you're getting strictly Mark Spector.
Oh, dude, that's that's something I'm kind of excited. But then again, it's like if the character of Moon Knight is gone, then the idea of Mark Spector and Stephen Grant, that wasn't a part of the power set or done by Khonshu. So he's literally a crazy person that can jump between both personalities still.
Okay.
I thought that was going to be like a part of the whole Moon Knight power set. Does that make sense? Because like if you end up breaking it down to like a medical condition, like he's not going to be like, okay, man, all right, you take over, and then like just pass it on to the next guy. Like people with that type of condition, they don't have control of when they switch, right?
Yeah, normally, yeah, it's not a thing.
It's not like a power that you could just be like, well, today I'm going to be this guy. You take the reins. So that that's what I kind of associated with the powers of Moon Knight, that all of these powers kind of came in between this and that. And that's why I feel at the ending of the episode, the girl was like, Steve, or or Mark, which one are you? Like, she's trying to like isolate which one it is. Yo, quick question. How did you feel about this giant star thing?
Giant star thing?
Yeah,
Like
the thing that you does with the fucking sky.
Oh, like the reversing of nights and shit.
I still don't understand that quite well. But
I get it. I just want to know what are we? Obviously, I don't think we're going back in time, but I mean, like, it
you
just
would be
means
going
that
back in time, wouldn't you?
you're just changing the sky. It's not like I'm kind of rolling with it, but yeah, it's left up to just you figuring out. It's not going back in time. It's just reversing the nights or the stars. That's how I'm choosing to look at it. I guess I'm just rolling with it. I'm not thinking too much about it. It's a little much to take in, but it's a fucking Marvel show, dude. Like,
Yo, how many? Do you think the suicide rate of that planet is like high off the roof?
Yeah, no, and that's actually the bigger topic here is, so was everyone in the world able to
that's
see
everyone in
that?
the world. That's everyone in the fucking world seeing that.
Or was that just like how?
It's the sky, dude. It's fucking space. Like, it's not just gonna be in Egypt.
So you're telling me that the entire world saw the sky roll back 2,000 years?
Yep.
Like, imagine just being out and like driving somewhere and then just the sky reverses 2,000 fucking years.
Fucking EDM show in space.
That's crazy, bro.
Yo, it doesn't this correlate to what I'm always talking about on the show? And I'm like, I don't know how people in this universe, and I feel bad just for the normal everyday person in the Marvel universe.
At the end of the Eternals, you saw some big head motherfucker, just
a giant hand and a fucking like,
yeah,
bro, come out in the fucking sea. Right? First you saw that there's a fucking hand in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. You know what I mean? Like, first off, you see that shit. Second, just a giant fucking space rips a woman out of a part going on a date.
Yeah,
just yanks her ass into space, yanks out a fucking a Bollywood movie star, gets yanked into space. Just random people just get yanked, and you just gotta accept that shit.
And you just gotta go on with your day like nothing happened, and you better not be late for work. Like you can't even use an excuse anymore for work. Like,
can you imagine that shit?
Yo, the world almost ended, so I was like 15 minutes late. That's getting docked out of your pay.
Imagine you're sitting in a fucking call center and just some dude just gets yanked out of his chair, dude. Fucking through the building, flies into space. You just look and you're like,
or just half the world just fucking gets snapped out of existence for 5 years.
And you know what? That was something my best friend said. She was like, yo, can you imagine? Like, because I was like, dude, because we saw the episode, and when we were watching the episode, she was like, dude, for reals. Like, she was like, I would have killed myself. Like, I wouldn't know what to do. Like, the whole world's just constantly, there's something weird going on. And I was like, dude, I'm right there with you. Like, I would be like so freaked the fuck out if I didn't have some kind of superpower. Like, if you don't have a superpower, you're pretty much just fucking, you're glue, bro. You're just an ant in the world. Like, you have no say so anymore.
And these are gods. Like, you're aware that gods exist. And like earlier in the day, the god just totally eclipsed the sun and shit like that. So that
out of nowhere, there was just an eclipse.
Out of nowhere, there's a huge ass fucking eclipse. You know what I'm saying? And then later on that night, he just decides to fuck around and just turn the sky back 2,000 years, bro.
Oh no, dude. Dude, oh no. Could you
with
imagine
a big ass light show? Like, that is crazy, bro.
But who do you man, and this is a good question. Who do you think it was for worse? The people who got snapped away, or the people who stayed and watched everyone get snapped away?
Obviously, the correct answer is the people that stayed, because as we saw in the whatever show that was that Yelena was in, that the snap only felt like 2 seconds. Like,
yeah, but when she came back, like, you don't got a house, your fucking family's probably dead.
Yeah, but you're I mean, that's like the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you got snapped and people died.
Yo, can you imagine, dude? That's a someone told me this the other day. It's like, can you imagine, dude, you get snapped, and then when you get snapped back, like, the earth is kind of like off its axis because, you know, it travels through space. All of that half of the universe just appears in the middle of space somewhere. Like it just fucking dies, dude, in space. So now you got like 500 million people just floating in space,
Just
just
floating in
bodies, dude.
space.
That
Yeah,
would be
nah,
fucking
that
bonkers.
I honestly think it would be harder for the people that had to stay. I mean, we saw that. The people that came back didn't have it as good. When Ant-Man came back, well, he wasn't. He
He was
wasn't.
on for like an hour.
Yeah, he was going for an hour. But the people that came back, they just started their lives again. No, there was no like devastation unless like even Monica, Rambeau, when she kind of took it in
Yeah,
stride.
she had it hard, man.
She had
She's
it
a
hard,
soldier though, man. She's a soldier though. Which is hard to do.
just imagine her mom though being there
Yeah.
5 years, not knowing where her
Not
daughter
with nobody, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the people that stayed the 5 years had it way harder. Way harder.
I don't know. And the reason why I ask this is because then it comes up to the question of like, okay, the universe, I mean, our planet just had a Thanos situation happen not too long ago, which was the situation with the coronavirus, which by far is the most awkward thing that's ever happened in anyone's life that's been alive through this period of time.
Unless you're Chris Rock.
Yeah, because Chris Rock fucking is a wild motherfucker, I guess. But the idea is everyone was told they had to stay home for 2 months and be inside their house. Like no one was out in the streets. The government was telling us what we can and couldn't do. Your toilet paper was out. Fucking people were freaking out with no toilet paper. Like the world had gone crazy. The world has gone empty almost. And when everybody came to come back and start going out, the world felt really fucking weird for being out of work for 2 months or 2 weeks or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Imagine missing 5 years of your life. Like someone just chalking it up and being like, yeah, well, you haven't been here for 5 years. Like the world went on for 5 years, but like for you, it was just like a second, but the world, like you lost 5 years of your life. Technically you didn't lose 5 years of your life.
No, you didn't.
But that's even weirder because now, can you imagine that your younger brother is now your older brother?
I still fuck him up though.
Yeah, I'll take his ass. I'll fucking take his ass.
I'll still fuck him
I'll
up.
fucking
Though.
give him the smoke.
I
Still take his toys.
I don't care how old he is.
But you get that, right? Like that's a weird fucking concept. That's like, okay, there was this movie when I was growing up that I really liked, which was called Flight of the Navigator. And I don't know if you ever saw this movie. It's a Disney movie where the kid's got like a silver spaceship.
Dude, we talked about it like 15 times on the show.
I love that movie. That's what I'm telling you. I love that movie. Well, remember, he leaves and comes back, and his fucking younger brother is like his older brother now because he stayed like 11, and his brother is now like 15, 18 years old. That's a weird fucking concept, and this movie like blew that out of proportion. Like, what it's so weird. I think, to me, I think you're right. And I agreed with you because that's the same answer I gave, which was if you stayed behind and you had to deal with the emotions of losing not only your loved ones or whoever was close to you by chance, not even by nature, it was just by random chance. So you could have been snapped away and not even knew about it. But you had to deal with that shit for 5 years, not knowing that they were ever going to come back because they weren't supposed to come back. All those people were dead. It wasn't.
I want to know what the suicide rate was after the snap. I want to know that.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. It's deep and dark to look up and to think about, but it's so wild. And this goes back to the idea of what I told you before of what I don't like about comic books too much is that when they bring an arc, like next week, there's another fucking arc that's just as deadly. Like, can you imagine? Like sooner or later, either the Sony verse, praying to God it's not, or the Marvel universe is gonna do Null, or gonna do the Black King, the Return of the Black King.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, there's literally just a bunch of goo that's supposed to cover the entire world, like just a bunch of black ooze.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the shit that happened the week before that, man? And the week before that, like, goddamn, like, what are you doing, man?
It never ends.
God, man, that's the thing that I hate about comic books. Yeah, but it is what it is. But going back, Moon Knight, episode 3 out of 7 or 6? 6, right? 6 episodes?
6 episodes, yeah.
For what it's worth, I feel it's very chatty. It's very chatty.
Chatty Patty.
But I think Oscar Isaac, and I don't know her name as an actress, but I think she does an amazing job, are doing a great job of what they're doing. The way she looks at Stephen Grant, almost like a pet, is super cute.
She wants to jump his bones. Nah,
Nah,
fuck
she
that
just thinks
pet,
he's
yo.
cute.
She
She's like
wants
a
to jump
puppy,
his
dude.
bones.
She's like a
Nah,
puppy. She's
dog.
like, oh, this is what I want Mark
Nah,
to be
he
like.
ready.
Oh,
He ready to go have some kids right now
oh no, would it be cheating?
Steven. Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely cheating because you're
Is it?
fucking his mind. Like you're fucking that part of the mind. Don't be over there in that part of the mind. You're
Yeah,
over here
don't,
in this part of the
don't
mind,
be in
right?
that part. Don't be doing that.
Yeah,
Don't be
get the
doing
fuck
that
out of
shit.
here, bro. What are you doing? Don't look over there, yo.
What do you think the secret is?
Oh, that he killed her pops,
You think
or
so?
either he killed the pops, or you know what I thought because that's too easy. Like I hope that's not the answer because that's so like I saw it coming. But what if she has multiple personalities and one of her personalities killed her pops and he knows about it and
Oh.
he can't tell her?
Would that be cool though? Like with the whole
I don't
idea of
know.
Moon Knight having it, like then it's just like guilty by association. Now everyone's got split personalities.
I'm just throwing shit out there because honestly, it's probably just the fact that either Mark or this Jake dude killed her pops.
So
And
what
that's it.
about just throwing the idea out there? What if Mark was part of the people that killed the father, but he like revolted and didn't save him?
I don't know. I guess, yeah.
Because
I
like
mean,
if I'm not mistaken, I think the origin story of Mark Spector was he was like a mercenary, and one of the jobs that he was on is they were protecting a bunch of like archaeologists,
mhm.
and one of the dudes in that group like goes off and screws over all the archaeologists, and Mark Spector tries to go out and fight that dude who was like one of his close friends,
Mhm.
and then become enemies or whatever. And then when Mark Spector gets killed is when they take him in front of Conchu and they're like, yo, bring him back. It's unjust the way this guy died. And Conchu's like, all right, cool, bet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make you the dude that's in charge of my fist or whatever. I don't know what he fucking tells him.
Yeah.
Does some shit. Whoever's in charge of my fist. Listen to me. Go off on crazy talk. No, but it would correlate pretty good to the original story and the origin story of what the character was, or how how it all began. So to have it be where he might know or might be the are you
I'm
still
here.
there, Brian?
I'm here. Yep, I'm still
Okay.
here.
The idea of thinking that maybe Mark Spector knew who killed her father and how her father died, and he couldn't stop them. And he kind of kept it as I don't know who your dad was, or I don't know how he got murdered. Like, I don't know who you are. And he just, maybe even the dad was like, yo, protect my daughter, or, keep an eye on my daughter. And then he ends up fucking city hunting it and falling in love and marrying her and all this shit he shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a prospect too. Maybe we'll get that. Hopefully we get that in the next couple episodes.
Now I think like this next episode I heard whatever twisted is coming up. I think it's coming in this next episode. So yeah.
You think it'll be episode 4? Well, the thing is, episode 4 came out when they showed the other YouTubers all the way up to episode 4, because apparently episode 5 has some like a big thing.
Yeah.
Which
so I was watching Grace Randolph give a review on episode 3, and she said this next episode is supposed to be the one that has the twist in it, and we get to find out exactly what the thing is.
What do you think it's gonna be?
That he killed the pops. He killed her. Like he killed her dad, and he hasn't told her, and he's gonna have to tell her.
I think it's going to be my biggest theory is the mercenaries thing. And I think in that mercenaries group is where they have Werewolf by Night, and Conchu's going to be like, yo, your next mission is you're going to go kill this guy, Werewolf by Night, because of what he did, and he needs to be brought to justice. And that's how we get introduced to Werewolf by Night. Then you find out that he was framed, that he wasn't the bad guy, he's just a werewolf, and he's got problems.
Oh, you mean like the overall where we're going to be left off type of deal?
Yeah, because the idea is like, okay, so we're building up to Werewolf by Night. That's going to be the next, like one of the next Disney Plus shows. That's of course bringing in another fucking random character we don't know anything about.
Yeah.
But I do know that Werewolf by Night and Moon Knight have met before in recent comic books. In origin comic books and origin stories. I know that he was Moon Knight was brought up to fight and kill Werewolf by Night, and that's how they get introduced to each other. And then, you end up finding that he was framed and he wasn't the bad guy and blah blah blah. Other stuff. I think that's how it's going to raise into it, and I think that's why they did not allow the other YouTubers to see past episode 4. is because we're going to be introduced to him in episode 5.
Okay.
But I think maybe by the end of episode 5, we may get a confirmation that he'll change into a werewolf in his shadow, and you'll see that he's a werewolf by chance or whatever. But we're not going to get like a full on like, yo, I'm going to fight you as a werewolf yet.
Okay.
I think we'll get that exposed later on in the series, or we're going to get introduced to him in episode 5. I think that's the reason why they didn't just let him watch the whole goddamn season, dude. All these YouTubers. And then of course they can't go off and do a werewolf by night in episode 5 and then fucking carry him into episode 6. They're going to have to just kind of resolve that by the end, let it go off and give you a taste of what to look forward to in that episode. Literally pulling an episode 7 and 8 of The Mandalorian / the Book of Bobalorian. The Book of Mando Fett.
The Bobalorian.
Just to give us a taste test into our next series, which I don't know if anybody saw this today, but the director of Ahsoka Tano came out and said anybody that was a fan of Rebels is going to be blown away by what we're going to do with Ahsoka Tano. Which, if that's anything in the case of what you did to The Mandalorian, we were super blown, or Boba Fett, we were super blown away by how shit you would have done. So don't give me that shit. I don't want to hear anything right now about the fucking them doing anything in the Rebels, because all I think it's going to be is they're just going to bring back fucking what's his face, Darth Maul.
Oh, Darth Maul.
That's going to fucking kill me, dude. That's going to kill me if they bring back Darth Maul.
Why? He's fucking dope.
I mean, Darth Maul's he's a badass. Like, yeah, he does flips and he swings a lightsaber. That's pretty much what everybody knows.
A dual lightsaber, by the way.
Dual lightsaber, bow staff lightsaber, or whatever they want to call it. The Rebel show kind of brought out his character a lot more, but I think Cal Kestis would still be a fucking way better character to bring out. Cal Kestis?
Yeah, that's my number 1. That's my number 2, actually, that I want to see.
I think if they found a way to kind of not only that, but that game is on sale right now. For spring sale, if anybody's a big gamer, you have what's the game called? The Star Wars Fallen Order?
Force Awakens, isn't it? Force Awakens.
Oh man, Force Awakens is a goddamn movie, man. Force Awakens, that's Rey, man. Nobody wants that shit. Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, man. It's on sale right now if anybody's interested. If you're a big Star Wars fan and you want to play a great game, single person, none of that battle royale bullshit. None of that fucking God, I'm so fucking tired of it already, dude. I hate it so much. Yeah, it's on sale, but I'd rather see that. But we're gonna move away from that because we don't want to talk about Star Wars. We're gonna stick strategically to Moon Knight. What am I expecting in the next episode? I'm expecting for them to be, of course, Mark is gonna wake up. You know what? I'm expecting for Steven to wake up. Because I think, no, man, what do you fucking do? Because Khonshu stuck in the stone tells Steven before he gets locked up, the gods are gonna lock me up in stone. Tell Mark to say, how does he save him?
Cuts a deal with them. Oh, he's gonna have to. Yeah, he's gonna have to be the one to show them that. What's the guy's name? Harrow. That Harrow. Yeah, Harrow is the bad guy. He's gonna have to cut a deal.
Those guys are blind as fuck. How do they not know Harrow's bad?
I don't. Yeah, there was no research done whatsoever by the gods, and they deserve whatever's they got coming to them.
Look at his fucking cane, dude.
But I don't necessarily trust the chick,
the god
Avatar. Yeah, like the one that was like giving him like information and shit like that. I don't necessarily trust her. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up being like a low-key villain here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a part of me, again, I'm not a really big fan of Moon Knight myself. I haven't really done a lot of I don't really care to do a lot of research. I feel that in these, because I said the same thing about Wolf by Night. I said this last week. I am going to take the opportunity from right now to not be a normie and act like I know a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and call myself out when I don't know something, because I am going to learn as much as you guys are learning about the series. I want to go at the same pace. So if I don't get it at that moment, I 100% don't get it as a person who likes storytelling.
Yeah.
So like when I'm talking right now about, Stephen Grant, or what's his name, Oscar Wilde doing a shitty job punching some dudes because he can't stand right. If he can't do Moon Knight, I don't want him to do Solid Snake, dude. If he can't do fucking
who said that he can't? You mean
I'm saying, man, action hand-to-hand wise, like it's not looking too sharp on that rooftop. That fight scene was not done right. And I don't want him to do Metal Gear Solid like that. Can you imagine fucking Solid
Because
Snake
of
looking
one
like that?
action scene.
That's enough for me, man. That's enough for me.
Tough crowd, man.
Hey, man, if you walked into a business and they were like, "Where's your 20-year experience?" and you showed up and you just had one job that you worked for like 2 years, you're gonna hope they take that shit, right?
Wait,
That's
say it again.
20 years of experience for me, man.
Wait. Say it again. Because I
When
don't
you go
think
into a job and they want like 20
right.
years of experience,
Yeah.
but you only have a job that you've only worked like 2 years of experience in.
Yeah.
You're gonna hope that they say, "Hey, you know what? We'll let it slide. We'll just take the 4 years and we'll look at that." Right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this fight scene as this fight scene for Solid Snake, and I am not.
Yeah, but that's still
I'm looking at this shit high.
You're still giving somebody 2-3 years worth of experience, and you're giving this guy this one scene, this one lousy scene on a rooftop. You're gonna base.
But you admit
You're gonna. I mean, I'm not. It was pretty lousy.
Yeah,
but I'm not dismissing him as Moon Knight, because I'm not saying that he can't be another superhero or another action hero because he had one lousy watch.
No, I'm just fucking with you. Just
with you. Yeah, fuck it, man. Like if it was that bad, I think I'd be on board with you. But nah, dude. Like I'm pretty blown away by how well he's doing acting wise. Like
oh yeah, definitely.
I'm blown away. So yeah.
Moon Knight actually did a really good tribute to the man who passed away, the actor. Gaspard Ulliel is the man who played the guy on the horseback in this episode.
Yeah.
That is the gentleman that had passed away earlier this year on a snow trip. Literally, I want to say like, a month after filming?
Yeah, we talked about it here. I know that if I remember correctly, I think Rob brought it up in the comments and we did acknowledge it. So yeah, we did speak about it.
Yeah,
right.
I think they did it very classy wise at the end. They played tribute to him, and then in the episode when he gets hit by Moon Knight, I thought it was very classy that they just let him go. They just cut it as him going into the smoke, like into the fog. Like it's almost like the person traveling into the great beyond. I don't know. Like there was something about that scene that I was kind of like, you know what? I found it as a respectful way for his character. They gave his character a lot of screen time.
Well, yeah, because I think he was supposed to be a villain. I mean, he does. I mean, this character in the comics is the Midnight Man. So, yeah. So, like, I kind of see him. He was going to be a villain at some point. So he got a lot of screen time. Yeah, that's.
It's just it's sad to see when things like this happen. Yeah. Especially when it's a unnatural thing. Mm-hmm. An accident like that. But Marvel respected it very well. It was a nice send off. So hats off to Gaspard. I don't know how to say his name because it's a beautiful name that I can't pronounce correctly. But yeah, hats off to him and his family and respects his character. He did an amazing job on his role. The episode overall, it wasn't a failure. I just feel the pace was a little slow.
Come on, man. Stop pussyfooting around it, man. Stop beating around the bush. 1 to 10. What do you got it, man?
7.
Okay. I'll take that. That's a lot better than what you're describing it, bro.
No, I mean, it's like I said, it's not necessarily that it's a bad episode. It's just there's things that me personally, that I just don't feel like they met to part like I liked in the aspects of what I was expecting. But it's not a bad show. I just feel like the pacing's weird.
Okay, so overall, show-wise, first 3 episodes, what are you grading this?
I mean, yeah, I'd probably do like a 73, 75, 7.5, 7.3.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite of the Disney series. I think overall my favorite's going to be Loki.
Yes.
I think there was just so much time and effort that was put into that show. The cinematography was great. The casting was great. The pacing of the show was great. The storytelling was great. Like Tom Hiddleston, again, another Tom, goddamn Toms, did an amazing job as Loki and always has been, and he loves that role. I'll never forget when he came out at Comic-Con dressed as Loki and brought up the whole crowd say my name. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was probably one of the most amazing things. And for him to do that You know, the guy's a sport. So Loki's still my top. It's probably like the 9.5. Like I think it's really, really high up there. Wanda would probably be like an 8.
Even though you got bonered at the end of that show, you got bonered at the end of WandaVision. That still is up there.
What do you mean bonered?
The guy we thought was Quicksilver, his name was Boner.
Oh, Boner, whatever they named him.
No, his name was Boner.
Yeah, like I mean, that was a cool. The thing is like Marvel is not gonna be like, but then again, I can't say that now because they're bringing in Charles Xavier.
Yo, I read something that was funny to me. I read that Kevin Feige, like the one thing that Kevin Feige hates more than anything is leaks and spoilers.
Yeah, of course.
And like if it comes out, if the leak or the spoiler comes out soon enough, like he'll change that shit. He has no issue changing that shit. No matter how dope it is, no matter how much you want to see it, he doesn't give a fuck, bro. Like he will change that shit.
Which is why
take a piss on all your fucking hopes and dreams.
Take a piss right out of you, man. Oh, you found out this shit?
All right, well, check this out. Check this out.
I bet you didn't think fucking Terminator was gonna be in this movie, did you? Straight up John Connor and shit.
Oh shit.
For what it's worth, I think it's really weird with the way that the last trailer was when they brought in Wong and Wanda right next to each other.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the whole advertisement for Doctor Strange has been one giant fuck over to the fans because it's not even going to be close to what the trailers are showing. Like, I think 100% like I know that you want to feel that Wanda's like the biggest villain, but like, I feel like she's not the big villain. Like, I feel like there is someone else that's doing it. I feel like a lot of these shots are made to look like Wanda's like the big evil, but there's a weird, like a publication that's coming out to me where it reminds me a lot of Black Ops 2's zombie storyline when they were doing all the trailers for the DLC for like the Richtofen storyline. In the trailer, all of the characters get murked and murdered by zombies all the time, and the people in the Reddits and all that stuff would be like, well, I don't get it. How do they die in the trailers but then they're in the game winning? And the director came out and said, well, that's because in those multiverses, those characters get killed. In your multiverse, you succeed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, that's how they have the time traveling, different variations of Richtofen and all the time jumping and all of that other stuff. There's a lot of that in that game.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, like, what if Marvel is taking a page right out of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and all the stuff that we're watching in the trailer is part of a different multiverse, and it's not the film's multiverse. Does that make sense?
It's not the film's. What does that mean? It's not the film's multiverse.
Like it's not the multiverse we're gonna watch when we see the film. Like the trailer is purposely made different, slightly off of what the movie's gonna be about, because that happens in the trailer's multiverse. Like the trailer itself is its own multiverse.
Okay.
And then when we watch it, like the story's going to go the way we're supposed to see it. Am I losing you a little bit?
Yeah, dude. Okay. It's I've had a long day. I've had a long day at work, bro, and okay. I have no idea what the fuck you're trying to say to me, man.
So imagine in the trailer, we see Wanda get stabbed by Black Knight. Just saying, making up some shit.
Yeah.
But in the film, when we watch it, Black Knight shakes Wanda's hand and says, thank you. And you're like, wait a minute. You know, you see Kevin Feige the next day and you're like, yo, Kevin, my dude, my bro.
Yeah.
My bestie, because you make such amazing films. Why is it that in the trailer you showed us Black Knight stabbing Wanda, but in the film he was shaking her hand? Like, what was that all about? And be like, oh, because that happened in their multiverse. That happened in their reality, in the trailer's reality.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a real, what's it called?
Why would you? I think that's false marketing. Sony is going through the same shit. Sony is getting shit on for false advertisement for fucking Morbius.
Morbius.
Yeah, like for fucking Mobius. Like that's the heat that they're on, that they're under right now. Is like, yo, you told us that Spider-Man was gonna be part of this universe. That fucking
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. I get 100% what you're saying.
Yeah. So like they're going through that right now. That's false advertisement, bro. Like people are gonna
chalk it up to.
Yeah,
but it was such an interesting concept that I liked it in the video game Call of Duty Black Ops 2. The director, when he came out and said the reason why those characters are dying is that's all real.
Yeah.
But those are all different realities that we're showing you in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Like you understand the premise of the game, which these 4 characters have to go out and be successful. But in this situation, our situation is you have to survive. And I was like, cool, bet I got it. So, Brian.
Sir.
Moon Knight, your rating, you're liking where you think the show should be.
15 out of 10, brother. It's up there, bro. It's fucking up there. No, I'll give it like a solid like 8 right now.
Okay.
Overall 8. This episode was an 8.
Okay, so your perspective of the show, like it's changed in a positive mindset from the first.
Yeah, it's an 8 now. I think I was a little bit too critical about it. And again, rewatching episode 2 changed a lot for me. I wasn't able to ignore. It's almost like, and I don't want to equate like Oscar Isaac to Tom Brady or anything, but it's almost like you don't want to wait till it's over. You don't want to wait till it's too late to acknowledge the what you're watching. If you're watching good art, you're watching a good performance, you kind of want to acknowledge it while it's happening. You don't want to be just me personally, I don't want to be like, well, this isn't for me, but like he's putting on a fucking good, like he's doing better acting, probably not better than Tom Hiddleston, but like, and probably not better than Olsen and WandaVision, but other than that, he's doing the best. He's doing the best acting out of anybody. Yeah, he's doing one of the best acting. So I can't ignore that. For that alone, he's gonna shoot up there, and I'm gonna appreciate it. Just give me a little bit more action.
Yeah.
And I'll bump it up to like a 9 or something like that. But yeah, I just need some more action. The acting, they have it locked. They have it down pat. Yeah.
Do you feel a little bit? This is interesting. I just want to ask this on the whim. I know we're gonna kind of shoot out the show already. Do you feel really weird watching the show and knowing that the villain and the hero are so close together, but they just never fucking pop off on each other? Does that ever come to terms? Like they've been like literally they had lunch in the second episode. Like they fucking talked to each other in the first. Like this one, like they literally met at a club in the middle of nowhere. Like there's no fucking pop off on these guys. Like they don't just start swinging when they see each other.
Yeah.
Is that a little weird?
I think the whole action itself and the lack thereof is weird to me.
Okay, because that's probably my biggest pacing problem.
Yeah, there's definitely a pacing problem. This last episode was rushed. That's my only knock on this episode. Okay. This third episode, it went really, really fucking fast. There was a huge pacing issue. Not a huge pacing issue, but something that I noticed in this episode. Overall, I think it's paced really well. Just this one was a little bit rushed. But I still think they accomplished everything they wanted to with this episode. And again, I think I've already come to terms with that. The amount of action is probably going to be on par with what we're going to get for the rest of the season. So at least my expectation is low. So it can only go up from here.
Good shit. All right, everyone. What do you guys think of Moon Knight episode 3? What are your guys' thoughts and ideas? How do you like the show? How do you think the pace is going? What are your pros and what are your cons about it? How do you feel about the DC revamping and the acquisitions of Discovery, plus getting the rights to WB and talking about fixing and doing what Kevin Feige has done for the Marvel Universe, but for the DC Universe? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on Doctor Strange? Are you hype as much as we are? How do you feel about Johnny Depp and Amber Harold shitting on the bed?
I swear you say these people's names wrong just on purpose, just to make me laugh, bro. Like,
her name, I'm gonna just call her shit.
Give me the pop.
Call her a bed shitter, dude. That's gonna be.
It's just call her shithead.
Yeah, let's call her shithead. Call her bed shitter for her new villain in Aquaman. And how do you guys feel about Elon Musk buying Twitter or trying to acquire Twitter? What are your guys' thoughts on it? Let us know in the comments section. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us on the podcast, guys. You know, we
he
appreciate
shit on his bed, bro.
Yeah, shit on it, and fucking ate his finger or whatever. Did some shit with his finger. Yo, thoughts and prayers to Johnny Depp. He put up with a lot of shit, man. Hopefully he gets some funds out of this shit, man. Really, bro. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us on this show. We had a good time. Man, I didn't think Amber Heard and Johnny Depp was going to take us that far into the waters, dude. That shit is deep waters. I'm probably going to start watching the
finger.
I'm probably going to start watching
one
the
or
case,
the other. I'm either losing a finger or you're shitting in my bed. You're not doing both to me, bro. We're going to have an issue.
And you know what even makes me kind of weirded out more? Is those are the only two things that we've heard have come out.
Yeah, right. What else did not come out?
Yeah, dude, that's already it's already top of the food chain for me.
That's God level.
I'd be done, dude. I'd be super done, man.
I totally fucked up your outro. My bad, dog.
No, it's all good, man. That's so fucking funny. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. We had such a great time on the show. Guys, don't forget, every Friday night here on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, we're live 9 p.m. You can join us in the conversations down here in the comments. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit us up on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, anywhere where you download podcasts at. Hit us up, like our stuff, let your friends know, tell everybody about it. Don't forget, South Texas Comic Con's coming up next week. It's going to be super wild. You should be seeing me out there. I should be there. So hopefully I get to see you guys. You guys come right up and say what's up. And yeah. Have an awesome weekend. Have an awesome Easter. If you enjoy that stuff, have a good time with your family. Just dig it. We'll see you guys again next week here on the show. We appreciate you to all our extraordinary listeners. Laters.
Peace.